Chapter 272. What Su Yun hated the most were police officers who neglected their duties, especially this kind of bastard who colluded with the evildoers despite having the title of police superintendent hanging on his shoulders. Every time he saw Wang Ruping and Tang Huabin, Su Yun would think of the bastard who betrayed him and his group of brothers. Every time he thought of that bastard, Yin Long's last sentence echoed in Su Yun's mind over and over again. When he thought of this, Su Yun's heart felt like it was fiercely clenched by someone's hand. It was an absolutely suffocating feeling. Su Yun clearly remembered that before that mission, he had made a military promise to Yu Marin that he would definitely bring back her twin brother safely. However, the only person who didn't come back from that mission was Yu Marin's brother, Yin Long and Yu Fan. Why did Su Yun feel so much pressure in his heart? He didn't keep his promise to Yu Marin, and didn't fulfill his military promise. If death could be used to atone for his sins and exchange for Yu Fan's life, Su Yun would definitely die. Although Yu Marin had clearly told Su Yun, who was depraved to the point of wanting to die, she didn't blame him at all. Every time they went on a mission, they faced the threat of death. If it really happened, it could only be said that it was unexpected but reasonable. Even so, Su Yun still found it hard to accept this reality. Su Yun had grown up with him. Every day when Yu Marin and Yu Fan were punished and confined, Yu Marin would always secretly send them eggs and fruits that she had secretly hidden during meals. Yu Fan was a troublemaker, and Su Yun was a master who was famous for being protective of his children. Therefore, every time Yu Fan did something bad, he would implicate Su Yun, who had the reputation of being an instructor, and be punished together with him. Therefore, not only was Yu Marin the twin sister of Yu Marin, but she was also a family member in Su Yun's eyes. Although Yu Marin and Yu Fan were younger than Su Yun by a few months, one called him little brother, while the other called him elder brother. Su Yun didn't care how much younger Yu Marin was than him. In his eyes, Yu Marin was a sister who would always take care of him, and would always think of him whenever something good happened. Before Yin Long left, the only thing he told Su Yun was not that he wanted Su Yun to avenge him, but that Su Yun must take good care of his sister, Yu Marin. Su Yun swore that he would never go back on his words. He swore that he would definitely do what he promised Yin Long. He would never go back on his words like he did with Yu Marin again. Although Su Yun could leave the Dragon Fury team, he still didn't stop paying attention to Yu Marin. This was also the reason why Wang Yi called Su Yun. Even when Dragon Fury's member, Black Dragon, almost died in Suang, Wang Yi didn't personally call Su Yun. However, when Yu Marin had problems in Eastern Europe and Western Asia, Wang Yi would personally call Su Yun. This was because this was the only request Su Yun had after leaving the Dragon Brigade. He wanted Wang Yi to help him take good care of Yu Marin. Although there was an accident this time, Su Yun didn't rush over because Wang Yi was still full of confidence in Su Yun when he called. He believed in the Dragon Fury team's ability as a team, and he also believed in each of their individual abilities. Similarly, Su Yun also believed in his brothers. When Su Yun found out that Wang Yi had sent the entire Dragon Fury team, it was enough to show how much importance he attached to this matter. Su Yun also believed that his entire team's ability was definitely stronger than his own. With them around, Su Yun could indeed be at ease. However, no matter how much he was at ease, Su Yun would always have that kind of worry in his heart. That kind of feeling was something he couldn't control. Phew. Su Yun took a deep breath. He didn't expect to meet Wang Ruping and Tang Huabin, two big scums in the police world after coming to Suang. Although their ranks were far inferior to the people from the Dragon Fury team who had betrayed him, this was enough to arouse the anger in Su Yun's heart. Su Yun wanted people like them to never have the chance to make a comeback. Only in this way could he calm his extreme hatred for this kind of scum in his heart. Su Yun knew that he and his brothers had a knot in their hearts that they could never let go of. And this matter was a knot in Su Yun's heart. Su Yun would never accept those scums in the police world. If he met them, he would definitely not let them go. He would make these bastards regret it. Naturally, no one else could understand Su Yun's knot in his heart. Ling Jiling still didn't understand why Su Yun did this. She felt that this was an unnecessary action. Prince, is it necessary to watch the two of them fight each other? Ling Jiling couldn't help but ask in the end. There are many people like this in the country. It's not just these two people who are the scum of society. Many people will become the scum of society because of power and money. Soo-Yun nodded. Of course, I know that this kind of people can never be killed completely, but if I meet them, I won't let them go. If these people didn't exist, I think all the people in Huaxia would be on a higher level in their lives and in all aspects. There wouldn't be such a thing as a bastard who betrayed his country. This kind of scum of society should be cut off before they get fat. If this kind of big rat grows to a certain extent one day, then his influence won't be as simple as just a region. He only needs to do one crazy thing to affect the fate of a country. If it weren't for Soo-Yun and his Dragon's Fury Special Forces, who had extraordinary team abilities, perhaps everything would have changed dramatically now. They didn't just win a mission, they also changed the fate of many people. This was also the reason why Wang Yi kept saying that Yinlong's sacrifice was worth it. This was also why Yu Marin repeatedly tried to persuade Soo-Yun not to blame himself. She said that if it was her, sacrificing her brother in exchange for a more meaningful peace, she would do the same. But Soo-Yun didn't think so. No matter how great those *T things were, his brother's life was just as meaningful. His words were the real reason why he left the Dragon Brigade. This was also something that Wang Yi couldn't do anything about in the end. If it was only because of Soo-Yun's inner demons, Wang Yi could have given him better and more systematic training to adjust. But Soo-Yun's mental imbalance was difficult for the higher-ups to accept. So rather than having Soo-Yun leave the Dragon Fury team immediately to adjust his mental state, it was more appropriate to have Soo-Yun leave the Dragon Fury team to adjust his mental state. Ling Jiling would never understand Soo-Yun's heart. She could only shrug and ask curiously, "Prince, what do you do? How come I've never seen you before? I didn't even see you at Zhang Taisui's memorial service." Haha. Soo-Yun chuckled. Ling Jiling's face darkened. These two words should be used by goddesses for otakus. She often used these two words to answer questions that left her speechless. She didn't think that today someone would say these two words to her. Could it be that the world had been turned upside down? Fortunately, the person who said this to her was the Prince of Sky Entertainment. If it was anyone else, she would definitely get angry and leave. About half an hour after Tang Huabin left, Wang Ruping called him. Soo-Yun immediately arranged to meet him at the hotel's coffee shop. Wang Ruping drove to the hotel and parked his car in a hidden corner of the underground parking lot. Then he followed Soo-Yun's instructions to find the place. When Wang Ruping arrived, Soo-Yun was already waiting for him. He knew that their operation this time could indeed proceed. "Tang Huabin called me." Wang Ruping went straight to the point. He said he didn't know how to explain it to Green Ghost. He wanted me to help him. I immediately called Green Ghost. Green Ghost seems to be in a very bad mood right now. I promised to help him think of a way. It seems that our plan is already half complete. As long as I call Soo-Yun later and ask Miss Ling out for supper, there won't be any problems with this matter. Soo-Yun nodded, indicating that he understood. It seemed that the relationship between Wang Ruping and Tang Huabin was the same as many people in the officialdom. They seemed to be close partners, but in reality, they were people who could betray others at any time for their own benefit. If it wasn't for these people, it would have been very difficult for them to climb to their current position. Black-hearted, this was the similarity between these two people. Look, when should we ask Green Ghost out? Wang Ruping was puzzled. I think the earlier it is, the safer it is for Miss Ling. Soo-Yun certainly understood this, but if it was too early, it would be more disadvantageous for him to get to the lakeside scenery. Since it's supper, it should be at least after 8. Miss Ling wants to face Green Ghost alone. This, I definitely can't help. Green Ghost won't let me eat supper with them. Wang Ruping brought up an important point. So Ling Jiling could only think of a way to deal with Green Ghost alone. Soo-Yun nodded. It was time for him to trust the smooth and slick young lady of the Sky Entertainment Group. Since Ling Jiling had been able to socialize with various high-ranking officials for so many years, it shouldn't be difficult for her to delay Green Ghost for an hour. Although Wu Yuendong's strength was much weaker than Green Ghost's, at this time, Soo-Yun could only ask for Wu Yuendong's secret protection. If something really happened, at least Wu Yuendong's presence would have some impact. Right now, Tang Huabin has just disappointed Green Ghost, so don't tell Green Ghost too early. When Green Ghost is about to lose his patience with this matter, tell him that he has an appointment with Miss Ling for supper at 8:30 p.m. Su Yun said. This is the most direct temptation for Green Ghost. As long as he agrees to come, you can take him to the revolving restaurant on the top floor of the hotel. There are always a lot of guests there, so I'm more at ease. I'll arrange the rest. You just need to contact Green Ghost half an hour in advance. Do you understand? Wang Ruping nodded. Understood. But can your people stop monitoring me now? Green Ghost isn't an ordinary person. I'm worried that he'll sense something is wrong, so I'm afraid. Chapter 273. Su Yun had already made a detailed plan. He asked Wang Ruping to wait for him in the underground parking lot, and then went to call Wu Yuandong to return to the room. At this time, it was necessary for him to make things clear so that everyone could be mentally prepared. Although Wu Yuandong didn't know what was going on, he knew from the beginning that Su Yun definitely didn't come to Swang just to shoot a commercial. He must have his own purpose, or he wouldn't have suddenly come a day earlier. Moreover, Su Yun went out to do things alone many times. Although Wu Yuandong didn't know what they were, he was sure that there was danger. He could also tell from Su Yun's expression that things weren't going well for him. Today, when Su Yun asked for his help, Wu Yuandong was really a bit unprepared. He always thought that even if he wanted to help, he basically couldn't. After all, Su Yun was really mysterious in his eyes, because Su Yun didn't only have the smell of the army on him, but also the smell of the underground world on him. This might be because Su Yun often participated in operations in the underground world. Or it might be because he had a godfather who used to be very influential in the underground world. In fact, Su Yun always wanted to know if his godfather, Zhang Taisui, would have become the underground emperor who ruled the 6 provinces and 1 autonomous region in Hubei if it wasn't because he wanted to give face to Wang Yi. Zhang Taisui, who had always been high profile, was only willing to stay in Jiangbei province because of his precious godson, Su Yun. He didn't marry and have children in his life because he wanted to pay tribute to brother Su, who lost everything and even his life for him. Of course, Su Yun didn't know any of this. He didn't know the real truth of why he grew up in the Dragon Brigade. He only knew that Wang Yi was friends with Zhang Taisui, and that big shot in the underground world insisted on recognizing him as his godson. Su Yun thought too much. Even if Zhang Taisui could really do whatever he wanted in the 6 provinces of North China, he couldn't affect Swang city of Jiangnan province, which was located in East China. After all, the trouble here had to be solved by himself. Brother Su Yun, if you have anything to say, just say it. Even if Mr. Zhu didn't give me any instructions, I'll definitely do my best to help you since we're fated to meet, and you think so highly of me. Wu Yuandong spoke first to express his position. Brother, just say the word. Su Yun smiled. He smelled not only the smell of a soldier on Wu Yuandong, but also the smell of the underworld. Perhaps he had developed this aura after coming to Sky Entertainment. After all, Sky Entertainment was founded by Zhang Taisui. It was impossible for it not to have the aura of the underground world. But it was also possible that he had brought them here before. This was because Su Yun knew that many capable people who were lost from the army had joined the underground world for various reasons. After all, people lived for their dreams and money. At the very least, they had to have one of the two. For many people who didn't have dreams, the only thing that could satisfy them was money. It wasn't their fault for chasing after money. Perhaps it was because of fate. Not all outstanding people could be selected into the special forces. It was also impossible for all the sharp knives in the special forces to be selected into the Dragon Brigade and become the true elite soldiers. I'm so nervous. Ling Jiling was telling the truth. She didn't think that after she agreed to Su Yun's request, this would happen so quickly. Brother Dong, I don't know if you've heard of Green Ghost. Su Yun finally spoke. Wu Yuandong's expression changed. He looked up at Su Yun. You have a conflict with him? Brother Dong, based on your familiarity with Suang, you should have been here many times. Therefore, you should know very well about the earth-shattering changes that happened recently. Su Yun continued. We're all in the same line of work. Even if Sky Entertainment is basically clean, its predecessor still came from the underground world. You should know about the changes that happened in Suang. Yes, I know, Wu Yuandong said. Feng Qiansui was eliminated from Suang because of Green Ghost. Su Yun nodded. One of Feng Qiansui's subordinates was my friend. She's now locked up in the lakeside villa area by Green Ghost. I want to save her, but Green Ghost seems to have sensed that I would go and save her. So he's been guarding at home. He knows that Sister Zhiling came to Suang to shoot an advertisement, so he wants to force Sister Zhiling to go. Wu Yuandong was shocked. You went out by yourself recently. Did you want to find Green Ghost? Su Yun smiled. Now, I'm confident that I can lure Green Ghost out. Sister Zhiling, you have to hold on for an hour. I only need an hour to complete my task. Brother Dong, during this time, Green Ghost will be eating with Sister Zhiling at the revolving restaurant on the top floor of the Waltz. I hope you can be there. If you're there, I'll feel more at ease. Wu Yuandong looked at Su Yun. After a long while he said, You should know that the difference in strength between me and Green Ghost isn't small. Since he has the ability to occupy a province, he definitely has extraordinary strength. If I had that strength, I wouldn't be a driver at Sky Entertainment. Brother Dong, I don't know why you're hiding your strength, but I believe that what I see is definitely not all of you. Su Yun smiled. Not everyone is qualified to have the lotus symbol of the Triad Gang tattooed on their shoulders. Wu Yuandong's expression froze, but he quickly recovered. Okay, Brother Su Yun, since you know the lotus symbol of the Triad Gang and choose to trust me, I really have no reason to reject you. Brother Dong, thank you. It was good that Su Yun and Wu Yuandong both understood. Some things didn't need to be said out loud. Since Wu Yuandong agreed to help him, that was more important than anything else. At the very least, Su Yun didn't think that the Triad Gang on Moss Bay Island had any secret conflicts with Sky Entertainment Group. Therefore, he could basically rule out the possibility that Wu Yuandong had other intentions. Ling Zhiling was confused. What Lotus? What Triad Gang? What are you guys talking about? Why can't I understand? Although Ling Zhiling was completely confused, she still vaguely felt that Wu Yuandong, who she had always thought of as just a driver, had suddenly become a person who was not simple. The Triad Gang, from the sound of it, was a gang with a dark nature. Also, there was a lotus symbol, as if only her big brother was qualified to have Guan Yu or a fierce dragon on his back. She didn't dare to underestimate Wu Yuandong anymore. Sister Zhiling, you can rest assured that Brother Dong is here. I believe that since he promised to protect you, he won't let anything happen to you. Su Yun said this to encourage Ling Zhiling. Although he knew that Wu Yuandong was strong, he was also certain that he wasn't Green Ghost's opponent. If Green Ghost really wanted to kill him, he couldn't say that Wu Yuandong would lose his life to protect Ling Zhiling. After all, everyone knew that if you don't look out for yourself, the devil takes the hindmost. Wu Yuandong didn't receive any favors from Ling Zhiling, so there was no reason for him to risk his life for her. Wu Yuandong smiled. He didn't say anything, but his meaning was clear. For Su Yun, his silence meant that he didn't agree and was just doing his best. To Ling Zhiling, his silence was a tacit agreement that he would protect her well. Perhaps silence was the best way to answer the question. Wang Ruping will bring Green Ghost over at 8:30 p.m. I'll go out with him now. You guys just need to reserve a seat. Su Yun looked at Ling Zhiling with determination. Sister Zhiling, it's up to you tonight. Ling Zhiling nodded. I'll do my best. Don't worry. Brother Dong. Su Yun couldn't think of anything to say before he left. He could only squeeze Wu Yuandong's arm. This can only mean that we're fated. Wu Yuandong grinned and laughed. He really didn't understand why he would risk offending a fierce person who was definitely stronger than him. It didn't seem right to say that it was just fate, but there was nothing he could do about it. Su Yun was different from the people in Sky Entertainment. Su Yun didn't treat him as a driver from the beginning. When they were buying skewers at the highway rest area, she even bought him some. She also knew that he had a hard time driving, so she bought him some cigarettes. Although it was a small matter, no one in Sky Entertainment had ever treated him like this. Only Su Yun didn't treat him as a driver. He treated him as a friend of equal status. Maybe it was because of such a small matter that Wu Yuandong, a first-class master who hid his strength, agreed to Su Yun's request. Su Yun was finally relieved. After leaving the room, he went straight to the underground parking lot. Wang Ruping had already started the car and was waiting for him. To encourage Wang Ruping, Su Yun asked him to drive to the Haidaleo hot pot restaurant that he liked to go to when he was alone. When it was almost 8 o'clock in the evening, Wang Ruping finally had his fill and calmed down. This time, Su Yun signaled him to drive to the lakeside scenery, and then dialed Green Ghost's number. Master Green, let me tell you a piece of good news. I convinced Ling Jiling again. Wang Ruping said into the phone with a smile. It was as if Green Ghost could see his smile. There was obviously a woman's asterisk on Green Ghost's side. But after his angry rebuke, all the voices were silent. Green Ghost's voice was full of expectation. What, you've done it? Director Wang, you're still the best. Tang Huabin, that trash, will never be able to achieve anything. Ha ha ha, since you've convinced her, bring her here. Wang Ruping sneered in his heart, but his mouth was still careful. Master Green, this person really can't be brought here, but she has already agreed to have supper with you. What? Green Ghost was furious. Supper? If I wanted to have supper, would I need her? Unappreciative thing. Wang Ruping, this is the good news you brought me? Chapter 274. On the other end of the phone, Green Ghost was silent for a long time. Finally, there was a burst of excited laughter. Ha 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 ha. Director Wang, you're really something. I haven't found the feeling of dating a woman for a long time. Ha ha ha, it's really the feeling of first love. Director Wang, I really have to thank you. It seems that Miss Ling wants to give me the feeling of being in love. Ha ha ha, this is much more interesting than simply sending her to my bed to play. Let's do it. Supper. Then I'll immediately get my people to arrange a place. I want Miss Ling to know that I value it very much. Ha ha ha. Master Qing, the place has been chosen. She said that she'll treat you to supper. Wang Ruping really knew how to please people. His flattery couldn't be seen at all, but it could make people feel very happy. I think when Tang Huabin and I invited her before, we made a fatal mistake. We didn't mention your name. This time, after I told her your name, she immediately changed her words. She said that she had disgraced you, Master Qing. She felt very guilty, so she wanted to personally apologize. Maybe after supper, she even prepared a big gift for you. Hee, Master Qing, she wants to visit the mountain. She must be sincere. This time, you definitely won't make a wasted trip. Green Ghost's laughter was sinister. Just thinking about it, I feel that this trip is worth it. Tell me the address. I'll go now. It's at the Waltz Hotel. Master Qing, I'm outside now. I'll drive you there. Wang Ruping laughed and said, What do you think? Green Ghost made a prompt decision and immediately said, Drive in immediately. I'll dress up now. Come on. Green Ghost hurriedly hung up the phone. Since he was going out for a date, of course he had to dress up a little. After all, Green Ghost was also a handsome man. No matter where he was, he had all 5 characteristics: Pan, Donkey, Deng, Xiao, and Xian. The so-called Pan, Donkey, Deng, Small, and Leisure were the 5 things that Grandma Wang told Westgate Big Official about. First, it referred to Pan An's appearance. Second, it referred to a man with the size of a donkey. Third, it referred to being as rich as Deng Tong. Fourth, it referred to being able to endure a woman's temper like a needle in cotton. Fifth, it referred to having the leisure time and mood to be carefree. Green Ghost didn't lack any of these 5 things. What he lacked was the feeling of Shimin Qing chasing after Pan Jinlian. Right now in Green Ghost's eyes, Wang Ruping was Granny Wang. All he needed to do was put on his clothes and wait for Granny Wang to matchmake him. Su Yin was quite satisfied with Wang Ruping's approach. He nodded, then bent down under the seat, and gestured for Wang Ruping to go in. Although sneaking in like this wasn't as exciting as beating up the 8 guards, Su Yin still felt that he should try to conserve his energy to find Chou Yun first. After all, there was only one chance. If he missed this chance, Green Ghost wouldn't give him a second chance. Su Yin had to seize this one and only chance. Therefore, since he could sneak in, why should he waste his energy? When the car arrived at the entrance of the Lakeside Villa district, as usual, it had to stop. The 8 people at the entrance all recognized Wang Ruping's car, but none of them could figure out why Wang Ruping would come here at this time, so they didn't immediately raise their poles to let him in. Wang Ruping rolled down the window and said, "I'm here to find Master Green." "Director Wang, you should know that Master Green doesn't see guests at this time, right? If there's something, he should inform us in advance." One of the guards said, "How about this? I'll inform him." "Wait a moment." After saying that, the man waved his hand. "Brothers, be careful at night. Although it's Director Wang's car, you should open the door properly and check it." As soon as he said that, Wang Ruping broke out in a sweat, let alone Su Yun. Su Yun remembered that the last time he came, Wang Ruping came in and out very easily. There was no such thing as opening the door and checking it. Now, as long as the people outside opened the door, Su Yun would be completely exposed. If that was the case, then everything would be for naught. Su Yun felt a burst of anger in his heart. He really regretted that he shouldn't have been more careful. It was really a careless mistake. If such a perfect plan was ruined because of his mistake, it would be over. Now that he was discovered, Su Yun only had one way to go, and that was to escape. If he fought force with force, he wouldn't be Green Ghost's opponent, not to mention that Green Ghost had so many experts here. At this time, Wang Ruping's heart was also scared. Green Ghost was so suspicious that he would naturally suspect Wang Ruping's intentions. Wang Ruping wouldn't give him any face. If he really angered Green Ghost and killed him, then his life would be over. It was already a tragedy to not have a wife. If Wei Yechen, who was his nominal godson, couldn't even get a wife, then wouldn't it be even more tragic? No. His son, Wei Yechen, had already been crippled by Su Yun. Other than finding an idiot as a wife, who would marry a man who didn't have a penis? Wang Ruping's mind was in a mess for a moment. Everything came to him. But in the end, his own life was the most important. After all, Wei Guochang's name was written in the father column of Wei Yechen's household register. Just as Su Yun was about to give up and run away, Wang Ruping suddenly raised his head and laughed. "Ha ha ha, little brother, if you don't want Master Green to think that you're wasting his time, then go and report." Wang Ruping laughed as he looked at the person who gave the order. "I'm here to pick Master Green up, for an important matter. I can't afford to delay it. If Master Green thinks that I'm too slow and blames me, then don't blame me for telling the truth. I was stopped by you guys at the front door." Hearing Wang Ruping's words, the person who was about to open the back door immediately stopped what he was doing. Everyone was confused. Wang Ruping and Master Green were friends. There was no doubt about this. No one understood what Wang Ruping was talking about, but no one dared to take the risk. During this period of time, Green Ghost's mood wasn't so stable. When there were new women, Green Ghost's temper was better. When there weren't new women, he was simply a pervert. Everyone was afraid that they would be killed by the angry Green Ghost if they weren't careful. Director Wang, look at what you're saying. I was just joking. If I still checked your car and reported, then wouldn't I be too unappreciative? That person immediately grinned and said, "Open the door, open the door. Director Wang, take care. Hee, since Master Green is looking for you for an urgent matter, then I won't chat with you anymore. Let's talk when there's a chance." "Okay, then I'll go in first. Hee, let's have a chat later if there's a chance." As Wang Ruping spoke, he saw the railing go up and immediately slipped away. His heart was beating very fast. It was like playing with fire. If it wasn't for the black tint of his car, then Su Yun would have been discovered. Su Yun took a deep breath and quickly calmed himself down. It was too dangerous. It was really too dangerous. The car finally entered the gate of lakeside scenery without any mishap. At this moment, there was a sudden shout from behind. "Wait!" Wang Ruping and Su Yun's hearts that had just been relieved were once again in their throats. The person who first said that he wanted to check ran to the side of the car and said to Wang Ruping, "Director Wang, I'm the captain on duty today. I'm responsible. I think you should open the trunk. Let me take a look. Just a look. It won't take more than a few seconds." Fortunately, it was the trunk. Wang Ruping immediately agreed to let him check. There was nothing in the trunk except for cigarettes and alcohol. After checking, that person heaved a sigh of relief. Director Wang, you have to be more considerate. You know that our Master Ching has a bad temper. I'm afraid that something will happen to me. If I get into trouble, I won't be able to keep my head. If you delay me for a while, I'm really worried that you won't be able to keep your head. Wang Ruping laughed and said, Are you relieved now? I can go now. Master Green is waiting for me to pick him up at the entrance of the villa. That person quickly signaled that Wang Ruping could leave. After Wang Ruping drove the car 50 meters away, Su Yun said, Stop here. I'll get off here. If I reach the entrance of the villa later, I won't have a chance to get off. Wang Ruping, although no one is watching you now, you'd better remember what you should do. Now you and I are grasshoppers on the same rope. If Green Ghost knows that you betrayed him, he won't let you go. Your only chance is to cooperate with me to bring down Green Ghost. Yes, yes, yes. I promise. Wang Ruping stopped the car. He knew that at this point, there was no way back. He could only go all the way. He didn't know if Su Yun would give him a way out, but he knew that if Green Ghost knew what he was doing, he wouldn't give him a way out. Su Yun got off the car at the most secretive path. He had investigated when he sneaked in last time. This was the safest place without surveillance. Only by parking here would he not be suspected. After Su Yun got off the car, he hid in the bushes. Fortunately, there was enough greenery in the villa area, so he could hide better. Wang Ruping saw that Su Yun had closed the car door and left, so he sped up and drove to Green Ghost's villa. He only hoped that this matter could end quickly, so that he could resume his life as soon as possible. He really didn't want to live such a life of fear every day. When Wang Ruping arrived at the entrance of Green Ghost's villa, Green Ghost was already standing at the door in a suit with 3 subordinates standing behind him. Seeing Wang Ruping's car, the tallest person behind Green Ghost said, Boss, do you really not need us to go with you? Chapter 275. Wang Ruping smiled and said, Master Ching, if your brothers are worried, I don't mind bringing 1 or 2 more people. Green Ghost's expression was absolutely radiant. Wang Ruping had gotten what he wanted, so he was naturally happy. Director Wang, I'm going on a date with the goddess. How many points do you think my image will be deducted if I bring them along? Master Ching, your image is enough to make up for all of their shortcomings. Wang Ruping laughed and said, You've come personally. How can there be a woman you can't get? Green Ghost was very happy with Wang Ruping's flattery. He smiled and waved his hand to his subordinates. Did you hear that? I'm going to find a woman. I don't need your help. Director Wang won't be the third wheel. Do you think you're qualified? Go back and take care of the house. Take care of the people you should take care of. Don't let your guard down. Do you understand? Understood. The tallest person nodded and said. Wang Ruping was slightly startled. He seemed to hear some hidden meaning in these words. Take care of the people he should take care of? Who did he need to take care of? Wang Ruping suddenly understood. No wonder Su Yun wanted him to lure Green Ghost out again and again. It turned out that he wanted to save Green Ghost. He didn't want to get rid of Green Ghost at all. Wang Ruping held the steering wheel tightly. The feeling of being tricked was really unpleasant. Now he understood that Su Yun definitely didn't have the strength to confront Green Ghost head-on. That was why he thought of this method to lure Green Ghost out and give him a chance to save Green Ghost. If that was the case, then that damn thing about having an accomplice spying on him was also a lie. If there were accomplices, why did they all disappear at such an important moment? But now, even if Wang Ruping knew everything, there was nothing he could do. Did he have to tell Green Ghost that he was involved in a scam to lure him out? What awaited him was Green Ghost's fury. At that time, he didn't even know if he could keep his life. Now it was just as Su Yun said. He was already a grasshopper tied to the same rope as Su Yun. If he dared to speak carelessly, he would end up like Su Yun. Even if Wang Ruping used his toes to think, he could imagine that if Su Yun wanted to touch Green Ghost's head, it would be like pulling a tooth out of a tiger's mouth. He would die without a doubt. Then he would also die without a doubt. Thinking of this, Wang Ruping couldn't help but shiver. Just thinking about it made him scared. He had seen how cruel Green Ghost's methods were. When Green Ghost had just eliminated Feng Qiansui, he had tried to control the new underground overlord of Suang. Unfortunately, this person's methods were much more insidious and vicious than Feng Qiansui's. Wang Ruping still remembered the first time he met Green Ghost. Green Ghost didn't say a word and broke the bones of a subordinate who wanted to betray him in front of him. In the end, Wang Ruping didn't even know if that person died or not. He only knew that that person was definitely living a life worse than death. What if Green Ghost broke his bones one by one? Just thinking about it made him tremble. He definitely didn't want to know this feeling. Just thinking about it made him feel like he was about to piss his pants. Director Wang? Director Wang? What are you thinking about? Director Wang. Green Ghost's face was already frowning. He had already called Wang Ruping 3 times in a row. But Wang Ruping was completely distracted in front of him. This was something that no one dared to do. Until Green Ghost's last call, Wang Ruping suddenly came back to his senses. He looked at Green Ghost with an apologetic face and said, "Master Green, my mind was a bit muddled just now. I've been too tired recently. I'm really too tired. I'm sorry, Master Green, we'll leave now. We'll leave immediately." Only then did Green Ghost's face look better. "Director Wang, it seems like you've been worried about me a lot. I'm really grateful. After I take down Ling Jiling, I'll definitely thank Director Wang properly." "Master Green, you're treating me like an outsider. Let's go. It's almost time. If we're late, we might not be gentlemanly enough." Wang Ruping's face was especially bright, but his heart was already grinding his teeth. He couldn't wait for Green Ghost to directly tear Ling Jiling's clothes and punish her on the spot. That way, he could also vent the anger that Su Yun made him eat. Green Ghost sat comfortably in the car and raised his eyebrows, indicating that Wang Ruping could leave immediately. Wang Ruping didn't dare to delay, and immediately drove straight to the Waltz Hotel. Sometimes he also felt that he was a coward as a director, but compared to most of the time when he was majestic, sometimes he could endure a little cowardice. As long as this matter made Green Ghost feel comfortable, he would immediately take measures to deal with Su Yun. He would definitely let the guy who caused him so much trouble for the past few days get his retribution. When the 8 strong experts at the door saw Green Ghost sitting in Wang Ruping's car, of course, they didn't dare to let him say anything about stopping and checking. They immediately opened the door and let him in. Furthermore, they all straightened their backs and bowed their heads respectfully. Wang Ruping stopped the car at the door, and then pointed at the guard captain on duty today. "Master Green, you found a good captain. He's very responsible. Even when I came, he had to check carefully before letting me in. He's really a good example of professionalism." Today's guard captain's expression changed. "Damn, Wang Ruping, you actually complained to the boss." This made him so shocked that his legs trembled. Fortunately, Green Ghost was in a good mood today. He only glanced at him. "Do your job well. But remember, in the future, Director Wang is my good friend. You have to be polite to him, understand? Also, when I'm not around, keep your eyes open. Don't let even a mouse in. Do you understand?" "Understood." The 8 people said loudly in unison. Everyone knew how careful the boss was these days. Green Ghost nodded and turned to Wang Ruping. "Director Wang, let's go. I can't wait." I think Miss Ling is also waiting anxiously, right?" Wang Ruping smiled along with Green Ghost. That's right. "Master Qing, I think Miss Ling is also anxious." Maybe she didn't even have time to eat supper after seeing Master Qing. Why did she choose to wait for Master Qing in her hotel? It must be because she has already booked a room, and can serve Master Qing at any time. Master Qing, don't worry, haste makes waste. We'll be there soon." Seeing Green Ghost and Wang Ruping talking and laughing as they closed the window and left, the 8 people at the door all understood. In the future, they really couldn't stop Wang Ruping's car. It must be known that the boss had never gone out in other people's cars. This meant that the boss trusted this Director Wang. Wang Ruping stopped at the door, and said those words on purpose for Green Ghost to hear. He didn't mean to complain. Also, complaining about someone checking his car was meaningless to anyone. Wang Ruping said this for only one purpose and one reason. He wanted to let Green Ghost know that he came alone, and that there was absolutely no one else in the car. In this way, if Soo-Yun caused trouble inside, he would have an excuse because that guy had already admitted to checking his car. Even if there was someone else, they couldn't blame him. Being able to think of his own escape route so clearly was also the reason why Wang Ruping was able to climb up the ranks faster than Tang Huabin, who had a strong family background. It was because Wang Ruping's thoughts were more meticulous. The car went straight to the Waltz Hotel. What Soo-Yun needed to do during this time was to determine how many people were in the villa. This wasn't so easy to determine. At least, Soo-Yun could only determine the 8 people at the door and the 3 people in the room. There would be 2 or 3 people patrolling the entire community from time to time. This was the most difficult number to determine. The only advantage for Soo-Yun now was that the lakeside villa area was big enough. It was difficult to be noticed if he did something inside. Therefore, Soo-Yun's tactic was very simple. First, he would try to get rid of the 3 people he met on the road, then kill the 3 people in the room in one breath. After rescuing Cho-Yun, he would see if he could fight with the 8 people at the door. Thinking of this, Soo-Yun was a little uncertain. Maybe there weren't only 3 people in the villa. Maybe there were more people guarding Cho-Yun inside. Soo-Yun took a deep breath. No matter what, he had to fight today. The opportunity had been created. It depended on whether he had the ability to grasp it. Soo-Yun, who had experienced many individual combat missions, was still quite relaxed. He didn't feel nervous. Even if he failed and the consequences were more serious, he wouldn't feel nervous. This was because his mentality had long been fixed. At this time, 2 footsteps came over. Soo-Yun smiled. If he didn't do something, he was afraid that he would be unworthy of his identity as the instructor of the Dragon Fury team. I didn't expect boss to go out with Director Wang. Isn't it an emergency now? What good thing is going on? A hoarse voice said. The other person snorted a few times. That's hard to say. Not only are there important people here, but there are also so many women for boss. He has no reason to go out. The only possibility is that there is something even better. You mean there is something that can attract boss more? Then I'm afraid it can only be women, right? And maybe. I really don't know which family's woman caught boss's eye. Probably, the woman who can attract boss to go out like this must be the kind that is flirtatious to a certain extent. The person said again. Boss probably won't come back tonight, right? The hoarse voice laughed a few times. If boss likes it too much and uses too much force, maybe the woman won't be able to withstand boss's violent thrusts for 10 minutes. Before he finished speaking, the hoarse voice felt that his throat was tightly gripped by fingers. Immediately after, he clearly heard the sound of his cervical vertebra being twisted. Then his eyes turned black, and he didn't know anything else. Seeing that his companion was killed in seconds, the other person panicked. But before he could shout, his face was pinched by a strong hand. His end was the same as his companion's. His neck was also twisted, and he went to report to the King of Hell. Chapter 276. Wang Ruping drove very fast. Green Ghost couldn't wait on the road. Anyway, the traffic police had already erased Wang Ruping's license plate. He could break the rules or run the red light at will. Moreover, there were not many people in Suhang who did not know that he, Wang Wudu, had a 555 Leopard license plate with Hang Yi. Even if he violated the rules, the other cars on the road were afraid that they would not be able to dodge in time, and would all avoid him. Using his authority, Wang Ruping barged through the streets and arrived at the Waltz Hotel before 8:30 p.m. sharp. After Green Ghost got out of the car, he adjusted his collar and looked at the car window confidently. He was more than 1.8 meters tall and had a well-proportioned and strong body. If they didn't know about his cruel temper and perverted mentality, many girls might be fascinated by him. The mysterious feeling of men always made girls curious. There was no doubt about this. Whether it was Soo-Yun or Green Ghost, they all had this mysterious feeling. After Wang Ruping got out of the car, he smiled at Green Ghost. Master Green, you're really in high spirits. Let's go up. I think Miss Ling is waiting for us up there. Let's go. Green Ghost's eyebrows danced. He could even imagine Ling Jiling lying on the bed and flirting with him. Just thinking about it made him excited. It was not that Green Ghost had never slept with a female star before, but he had never met a female star of this level. Moreover, he had never met a pure female star who had not been involved in any scandals with any director or producer. This was what excited Green Ghost. He wanted to take some photos so that he could have a taste of what it was like to be photographer Chin. He was not afraid of any photos being leaked. He just wanted to know how big of a sensation it would cause if a picture of a female star who walked the path of a pure and innocent girl was leaked out. Just thinking about it made Green Ghost feel unbearably excited. This kind of thing would definitely cause a sensation in society. He had a firm foothold in Swang, and it was not impossible for him to use this opportunity to become a public figure. He just wanted those old things to know that now was his, Green Ghost's, time. He could take down Swang, which was called Heaven on Earth, and he could also take down Ling Jiling, who was called the #1 otaku goddess on the mainland. He wanted to announce to everyone that he, Green Ghost, was going to do something big. With Hell King Lungchen behind him, he wanted to see who dared to stare at him. Even if those old things were strong, they wouldn't be able to fight against him now. Since Green Ghost, who was known as an ambitious person, had walked out of the Ghost Gate, he had to do something. Or else he would be laughed at by those bastards in the Ghost Gate. As the elevator reached the top floor, a cruel smile appeared on Green Ghost's face. "Beauty, I'm coming." Ling Jiling was sitting in a bright spot in the restaurant. Even though she was wearing huge sunglasses to cover her face, it still couldn't hide her unique celebrity charm. This was the first time Ling Jiling wanted to get more attention. She knew that the more people paid attention to her, the less likely the person she was facing would do anything to her. This was the first time she felt more secure with more people around her. Green Ghost saw the different Ling Jiling at a glance. He didn't need Wang Ruping to do any introductions. He just waved his hand, indicating that he could leave. Although he was CTST, he's quickly was. Wu Yuandong kept his head down in the corner of the restaurant and didn't say anything. He didn't attract anyone's attention. The only thing that made Wu Yuandong uneasy was Green Ghost's. It was the same feeling he had when he saw Su Yun. Green Ghost smiled and walked to Ling Jiling's table. He reached out his right hand and said, "Miss Ling, nice to meet you. You're even prettier in real life." Ling Jiling tried her best to calm herself down, as if she was meeting an ordinary friend. She stood up and quickly shook Green Ghost's right hand. Before Green Ghost could grab her hand, she had already pulled her hand back. "Mr. Green, nice to meet you." "Nice to meet you. Please take a seat." Green Ghost couldn't grab Ling Jiling's slender fingers. His heart was itching. But the more it was like this, the more Green Ghost wanted it. He wanted this feeling. It was much more interesting than those women he could just throw on the bed. "Miss Ling, it's our first time meeting. This environment seems a bit too messy." After Green Ghost sat down, he looked around. Seeing so many people looking over, he couldn't help but say, "How about this? Why don't we go somewhere else?" Ling Jiling smiled. "Mr. Green, I've been busy all day today. I'm a bit tired, so let's just stay here." "And sure. As long as Miss Ling likes it, it's fine. Wait for me. I'll get their manager to arrange for everyone else to leave first," Green Ghost said as he got up. With his name, he only needed to call the boss of Waltz, and he believed that everyone here would be asked to leave. Ling Jiling hurriedly said, "Wait. Mr. Green, that's not good. I think we shouldn't be too overbearing. This is a public place. Don't you think so?" Green Ghost paused. "And okay. I'll listen to you." He was going along with everything Ling Jiling did. He kept emphasizing to himself that he wanted to find the feeling of a date, the feeling of his first love. "Mr. Green, what do you want to eat?" Ling Jiling said. "Before, I didn't know that you wanted to invite me, so I refused. I'm really sorry. I must treat you well. Consider it my apology." When Green Ghost heard this, he laughed. "Ha ha ha, Miss Ling is really eloquent. I'm really happy to hear that. I haven't found a beauty like you who can give me this kind of feeling in so many years. I really like you more and more." "Mr. Green, you're joking. With Mr. Green's high achievements, there must be a lot of girls who like you. How can you like someone like me?" Ling Jiling quickly changed the topic. Let's see what we want to eat first." Okay. Green Ghost said. How can a gentleman let a girl pay the bill? This bill is on me. Hee waiter, come here. Before Wang Ruping left, he greeted the restaurant manager. The restaurant manager didn't know who Green Ghost was, but he knew Wang Ruping's name like thunder. He also knew the name of the movie star Ling Jiling. Seeing Wang Ruping being so respectful to this Mr. Green, he obviously knew that this was someone he couldn't afford to offend. Mr. Green, what do you want to order? The restaurant manager personally came in front of the two. Give me a bottle of 1982 Lafite. Green Ghost ordered the wine. The restaurant manager smiled slightly. The wine has been ordered. I've already woken up the two of you. See if you need anything else. Oh, you've already woken up? Be good. Green Ghost smiled slightly and said, Okay, then let's eat some seafood. Abalone with sauce, Thai sweet and spicy squid, nutritious sea salt baked crab, coconut curry shrimp, steamed anchovies with black bean, poplar dew with thunder sand soup balls. Ling Jiling was startled. Mr. Green, I can't eat so much at this time. Don't you think you've ordered too much? Not much, not much. Green Ghost shook his head. If Miss Ling thinks it's enough, then it's fine. No more. It's enough to eat. Ling Jiling smiled slightly. And of course it's enough. Mr. Green, I heard that you have deep involvement in various fields. I really didn't expect you to be so young. You reminded me of an idiom called young and promising. As for the point of saying nice things, Ling Jiling was still very good at it. Green Ghost felt very comfortable when he heard this. Of course, nice things should be said to each other. He also knew how to coax girls, but he had forgotten it after so many years. Miss Ling, not only are you beautiful, but your mouth is also beautiful. Ha ha ha, you also reminded me of a saying, a smile can overturn a city. Another smile can overturn a country. Ling Jiling pursed her lips and smiled. Mr. Green, you really think too highly of me. Wu Yuandong had been watching the signs without moving. He was now in a daze. Su Yan asked him to protect Ling Jiling, but what could he do now? If Green Ghost said that he wanted to do something, he wouldn't have a chance to help at all. Fortunately, Green Ghost didn't do anything now. Wu Yuandong looked at the time. Su Yan wanted him to hold on for an hour. An hour. He could only pray that Green Ghost wouldn't do anything inappropriate. The dishes ordered by Green Ghost were quickly served, but he and Ling Jiling weren't in the mood to eat. Ling Jiling was just talking nonsense, trying to make Green Ghost dizzy. Green Ghost's goal was very simple. He just wanted to sleep with Ling Jiling. Everything else didn't matter. Miss Ling, you didn't eat at all. Is the food I ordered so unappetizing? Green Ghost said with a smile. Ling Jiling smiled and said, Mr. Green, girls are different from you guys. We have to pay attention to our figures. Green Ghost's face finally revealed a trace of his true colors. Hee Miss Ling, your figure must be very good. If I can have the fortune to admire it, then I will have no regrets in this life. Ling Jiling frowned in her heart, but she didn't show it on the surface. Mr. Green, you are so handsome and elegant. You must have seen many girls' good figures, right? Hee, I don't dare to lose face in front of you. Not at all. In my heart, Miss Ling is the most beautiful. Not only the face, but also the figure. Green Ghost said and made his request. Miss Ling, since we don't have any appetite, let's go somewhere else to chat. Go somewhere else. Ling Jiling immediately understood Green Ghost's meaning. Then, she elegantly raised her wine glass. Hee Mr. Green, let's have a drink here. Green Ghost reached out and pressed down Ling Jiling's wine glass. He had an evil smile on his face. Miss Ling, wine can be drunk anywhere. It's so unromantic here. There are so many people. I can't drink. If Miss Ling wants to treat me to a drink, then let's change places. Chapter 277. At this moment, Su Yan's actions in the lakeside scenery made people's hearts beat faster. Su Yan had killed 2 groups of 2 patrollers, and then a group of 3 patrollers. After killing 7 people in a row, he couldn't help but worry that he wouldn't be able to hide the truth. The sudden disappearance of 7 people would definitely be noticed. Even if Green Ghost's subordinates were stupid, they were still at least second or third-rate experts. It was impossible for them to not notice that something was wrong. If no one really noticed, then there was only one reason. Green Ghost had a lot of subordinates here. It didn't matter if there were 7 or 8 of them. That would be even more troublesome. If there were hundreds of masters in the Lakeside Villa district, Su-yin would need at least a small team of 4 people to be sure to kill them. If he was alone, once he was noticed by the other party, it would be very difficult for him to escape with a sea of people. Even if Su-yin had the strength of a second-rate super expert, he wouldn't recklessly fight against over 100 third-rate experts. He wasn't strong enough to be like Wang Yi, who only needed to emit an aura to make third-rate experts tremble in fear. After killing these 3 groups of people, Su-yin hid them one by one in the bushes in the residential area. These people were all blacklisted, and their deaths weren't regrettable. The names of experts who entered the underground world would appear on 2 lists. One was Huaxia's blacklist, and the other was the underground world's fiend list. Although the 2 lists were black and white, these 2 lists had the value of these people. Those who could get on Huaxia's blacklist didn't receive the bright yellow money that was clearly marked on the fiend list, but it was still a merit. It was the capital for promotion and promotion. The fiend list's value was more obvious. It was money. No one knew who created the fiend list, but as long as you could kill someone on the list and send their head through the fiend list's website, you would receive the corresponding amount of money in your account. Until now, Su-yin still didn't know who had created the fiend spirit list. Although the allure of the murderous spirit list was great, not many people were willing to kill for it. This was because the heads of those with low strength were not worth much, and those who were truly valuable had the strength of a first-class master. A first-class master was not so easy to kill. Unless it was a super expert or a grandmaster, they wouldn't have full confidence. But for those who had reached the level of a super expert or a grandmaster, they didn't care about the bounty of a first-class expert. They cared more about talent. If this person could be used, they wouldn't exchange him for money. Only if this person couldn't be used would this kind of thing happen. However, most of these experts were very sensible. They all knew how much their lives were worth. Of course, there was also a group of people who were professional bounty hunters. Most of these people had extraordinary strength, and they would launch fatal attacks on their targets for rewards. They were the same as assassins. They did not have the strict discipline of mercenaries. They were freer, more independent, and very mysterious. But unlike assassins, their targets were not ordinary people or groups. Their targets had to be people on the fiend list. Once a bounty hunter killed an ordinary person who wasn't on the fiend list like an assassin, he would be spurned by other hunters and would no longer be qualified to call himself a bounty hunter. The 7 third-rate experts that Su-yin had just killed were all worth quite a bit of money. Adding them all together, it was definitely enough to buy a Gusto limousine. But Su-yin didn't have time to pay attention to this, because he had already arrived at the door of the villa. The style of this villa was more luxurious than that of the other 7 lakeside villas. Even ordinary people could tell at a glance that although any of the other 7 villas were rare, there were only stars around this villa. And this villa was the round moon surrounded by stars. The surveillance equipment at the door of the villa was aimed at the front door. The whole villa was surrounded by hidden electric protection. If he didn't want to go through the front door, he had to go through the air. Su-yin didn't know what was inside. What if he was surrounded by dogs? If he went through the air, Su-yin couldn't raise his chi a second time in the air, and the sound of his landing would inevitably disturb people with good ears. Therefore, to be safe, Su-yin still had to go through the front door. In the blink of an eye, Su-yin had thrown a stone at the bottom of the surveillance camera. With a snap, the sensor light on the camera went out. Su-yin must have destroyed the circuit below. In the surveillance room of the villa, a man with a black eye patch covering his left eye was startled. Among the dozens of screens in the room, the one facing the entrance of the villa suddenly blacked out. He quickly got up and walked out. He said to the shortest of the 2 people watching TV in the living room, "Little fatty, go out and take a look." The shortest man glared at the man with the eye patch. "One eye, if you King call me by that name again, I'll get angry with you." "Ha ha ha, Bandit Yuan. You're both short and fat. It's not too much to call you little fatty, ha ha ha." The tall man with golden hair sitting beside the shortest man laughed. Just treat it as if I'm calling you Bandit Yuan. Don't mind it so much. F***ck off. Bandit Yuan cursed and stood up. What do you want me to do? One Eye shook his head at the door. The surveillance at the entrance of the villa is gone. Go out and take a look. I'm afraid something will happen. Hearing this, the two people on the sofa were stunned. Bandit Yuan didn't care about being laughed at as little fatty. He glared. What do you mean? Someone came in. Who the F***ck came in? We're watching all the surveillance cameras. Even a rat didn't come in. Maybe there's a problem. One Eye looked relaxed because he could see all the surveillance cameras around the villa. There was indeed no sign of anyone coming in. Hence, he wasn't worried at all that someone would come in. Hearing this, the three of them relaxed. Bandit Yuan scolded. Why are you so nervous when you're talking about it? Are you crazy? If there's a problem with the surveillance cameras, why don't you go out and take a look yourself? I still have to F***king go back and continue watching the surveillance cameras. Why don't we switch places? I'll go out and take a look. You go into the surveillance room. Boss said that no one can leave the surveillance room for 24 hours. Did you forget or don't you understand? One Eye spat. Go go go. I'll go now. Bandit Yuan walked out unhappily. This damn surveillance camera could have broken at any time. Why did it have to break now? Wasn't it causing trouble for him? But if he didn't go, that damn One Eye would use boss to pressure him. The golden-haired guy snorted and ignored them. He continued to watch television on the sofa. In 2 hours, it would be his turn to enter the surveillance room. Ever since boss caught that little girl called Cho Yun, they hadn't had a break. The golden-haired guy really hoped that boss would finish playing with that little girl and kill her. That way, they wouldn't have to worry about her all day. Now they wanted to use that little girl as bait, but they didn't catch any fish. For the past few days, they had almost turned into idiots. They hadn't left the lakeside entrance for a long time. He also wanted to go out and relax. The fresh women sent to them every week were given to them by boss when he was tired of playing with them. He also wanted to try something new. Seeing that Bandit Yuan left obediently, One Eye walked back to the surveillance room. This shift was 8 hours long. He was already aching from sitting for so long. There were only 2 more hours before it was the golden-haired guy's turn to take over. He had to hold on. Bandit Yuan walked out of the villa unhurriedly with his short and fat body. He walked unhurriedly to open the front door of the villa. He looked up at the surveillance camera. The indicator light wasn't on. Obviously, there was a problem. F***ck One Eye, you bastard. You know that my leg is broken, but you still asked me to come here and see what's wrong. How can I F***king see? Bandit Yuan said angrily. Isn't it because the golden-haired guy is stronger than you that you don't dare to order him around? You F***king piece of shit. You only know how to order me around. Sooner or later, I will obtain boss's true teachings and break through my mental state and destroy you. Bandit Yuan cursed as he looked up. In the end, he sighed helplessly. What the F***ck are you looking at? I can't see. Do you want me to help you? Ha. Bandit Yuan was startled at first. Then he broke out in cold sweat. The voice that came from behind him was completely unfamiliar. He didn't even know when the person behind him had appeared. What the F***ck was going on? Bandit Yuan's first reaction was to call for help. However, the person behind him didn't give him a chance to shout. He grabbed 2 acupuncture points on his throat with one hand. The fingers were like iron clamps around his throat. Bandit Yuan couldn't even breathe, let alone shout. I'll give you a chance to live. Answer whatever I ask you, Su Yun said coldly. Bandit Yuan nodded with all his might, indicating that he would completely obey Su Yun's orders. He definitely wouldn't go against Su Yun's orders. He was already used to working under Green Ghost. Su Yun said in a low voice. How many people are inside? If you dare to shout, I guarantee that you'll be sent to see King Yama in the next second. After saying that, he loosened his grip a little to give the person some space to speak. He didn't dare to fully believe him, so he had to control his strength. 2. Bandit Yuan said with great difficulty. Su Yun was startled. 2. He tightened his grip again and continued to ask coldly, "You lied to me. Hee hee. I'll send you to see King Yama now." Woo woo. Bandit Yuan couldn't speak. He could only open his eyes wide and shake his head vigorously. Seeing him struggle so hard, it seemed that he was telling the truth. Su Yun should be glad. If there were only two people, he would definitely win. Chapter 278. What kind of melodramatic plot is this? The whole movie only has 3 F*King sets. I estimate that it's a KTV that costs less than 50 renminbi per person. There's a place where a prostitute pimps, drinks, and prostitutes. There's a girl who lost her virginity and a loser in front of a small store. Finally, there's a BMW car, a place where a rich second generation who looks like a pretentious guy and many girls who lost their virginity. It's so bad. It's really bad. I don't understand what's so good about the story that revolves around the blow-up doll, the pot beauty, and the village woman who lost her virginity. The government shouldn't have allowed this kind of bad movie to pass the censors. If you think it's bad, then it must be bad enough. What do you mean? Are you saying that if I can't accept it, then others can't? The yellow-haired guy scolded in disdain. Do you think your taste is so good? Go play somewhere else. After saying that, the yellow-haired guy was stunned. Why did his voice sound so wrong? Bandit Yuan's voice wasn't so clear. It didn't sound hoarse at all. By the time the yellow hair regained his senses and turned around, the black shadow was already on top of his head. Without waiting for the yellow hair to retaliate, 2 heavy fists had already come over and landed heavily on his 2 temples. The yellow hair's mouth, nose, and eyes immediately began to bleed dark red blood. He stared at Su Yun with his pair of eyes that could no longer see anything. Was it sad that he didn't even see who killed him when he died? It was even more sad than the prostitutes in the movies. Su Yun straightened the yellow-haired guy's body and sat in front of the TV. He picked up the TV's remote control and increased the volume of the TV. He quietly looked at the 8 rooms around the living room. Just now the short man said that there were 2 people inside. When Su Yun came in, he only saw the yellow-haired guy who was watching the TV. He had to confirm which room the other person was in first. The short wintermelon had the strength of a second-rate master, and this yellow-haired man was even stronger than the short wintermelon. Su Yun could basically conclude that the person in the room was definitely stronger than the one outside. Although 3 or 5 second-rate experts were nothing in front of Su Yun, if there were more, it would be difficult for Su Yun to gain an advantage in such a small room. Yellow hair. Are you crazy? Keep your voice down. An unhappy voice came from the door of the 9 o'clock room. Su Yun threw away the remote control and walked straight to the door of the room. Before Su Yun could open the door, One-Eyed, who was inside, yelled at the door, "Are you F*King deaf?" After this roar, the one-eyed man was shocked by the person standing in front of him. When did this person appear? With their 360-degree surveillance, how could anyone appear right under their noses? Where were little fatty and yellow hair? There were too many things going through One-Eyed's mind at this moment. However, his reaction speed was indeed faster than the other 2. The moment he saw the stranger in front of him, he knew that this person did not come with good intentions. One-Eyed wanted to close the door immediately. However, his reaction in a moment of desperation was meaningless. How was it possible to use a door to block an expert? Su Yun raised his leg and kicked out. With a loud bang, the door flew out along with the one-eyed man and crashed into the wall before coming to a stop. One-Eyed only felt a mouthful of blood gushing out. He knew on the spot that he was not the opponent of the person in front of him. Su Yun walked into the room and looked at the dozens of surveillance images. He sneered, "There really is no blind spot. Unfortunately, once I come in, I will be completely safe." Green Ghost indeed had 100% confidence in his strength. He must have thought that no one could come in, and the people who came in would definitely not be able to escape from his hands. Unfortunately, Green Ghost, who had been carefully hiding in his nest, was unable to resist the temptation of a woman in the end. Green Ghost would never have thought that going out this time would be a turning point in his life. Whether it was in the Hellgate or after leaving the Hellgate, Green Ghost's life had been smooth sailing. He would never be willing to believe that he had fallen into the hands of an immature brat. One-Eyed cautiously stared at Su-Yun. He secretly glanced at the red alarm button that was only 1 meter away from him. As long as he pressed it, the more than 30 people in the Lakeside Villa district would all know that something had happened. One-Eyed did not know that Su-Yun had already killed 9 people. Excluding the 8 people who would guard the door at all times, there were actually only 15 people here, and these 15 people were still in the other 7 villas. Su-Yun's insight was not a joke. He only needed to look at One-Eye's eyes to understand his thoughts. Su-Yun suddenly kicked the red alarm button, as fast as lightning. Although One-Eye's eyes revealed fear, it could not hide a trace of ecstasy. This thing would sound the alarm as long as it was touched. He could not ask for more from Su-Yun. However, Su-Yun's kick destroyed the alarm button, but there was no sound of the siren. One-Eye's originally expectant smile instantly froze. Why did it malfunction at this time? It was simply a failure at a critical moment. Su-Yun looked at One-Eyed expressionlessly. Don't think about it. If you destroy the alarm button before its inductance is transmitted, it will not have any alarm function, so you better cooperate with me. One-Eyed's mouth twitched twice. With his naked eye, he indeed could not see the speed of Su-Yun's kick, but he did not dare to believe that the speed of this person's kick could be faster than the transmission of the inductance. Wasn't this joke a little too much? Who was this guy? In front of such a terrifying strength, One-Eyed did not even have the thought of fighting with him. One-Eyed was a smart person. Yellowhair's strength was higher than his, but One-Eyed did not even hear the sound of the conflict between Yellowhair and this person. There was only one possibility: Yellowhair was killed instantly. One-Eyed was very clear about the strength of a person who could kill a second-rate master in an instant. At least, he believed that Yellowhair and Bandit Yuan could at least tie with a first-rate master below the 3rd level. Su-Yun smiled slightly and went straight to the point. Where is he? One-Eyed swallowed a mouthful of saliva, and his face began to turn pale. I don't know what you mean. What else can I mean by coming here? Su-Yun's smile began to become cold and evil. Is there anyone else in this Lakeside Villa area? Our boss went out. He's not here. If you're looking for our boss, then wait. Wait for him to come back. One-Eyed did not dare to speak carelessly, but he was also afraid of angering the big Buddha in front of him. He did not doubt that the person standing in front of him now had a terrifying strength that was on par with his boss. Anyway, killing him would be as easy as flipping a hand. Su-Yun nodded and stared at One-Eyed with cold eyes. Okay, then I'll look for him myself. You can also go and find your 2 brothers on the road to the underworld. Wait! One-Eyed suddenly shouted. I know who you're looking for. At the moment of life and death, One-Eyed did not care about what his boss would do to him when he came back. At most, he would sell the information to this person, and then run to the ends of the earth to hide. At least he would still be alive. And if he did not say anything, he believed that this person in front of him would definitely kill him mercilessly. This was because he could not hear any threat from Su-Yun's tone. It was completely like he was calmly describing a small matter that was about to happen. The room is only so big. I still enjoy the fun of looking for myself. Su-Yun grinned. No need to trouble you. He's not here. When One-Eyed heard that Su-Yun didn't give him a chance to live, he quickly said, He's not here. She's really not here. Are you looking for Violent Fox, Venerable Cho-Yun? Trust me, I'll take you there. Don't kill me. Killing me won't do you any good. Because there are people in those villas. It will be a waste of time for you to look for them one by one. Our boss won't stay outside for too long. If he comes back, I'm afraid you won't have a chance, right? Su-Yun nodded and did not deny it. He believed that One-Eyed could see it. Since he would appear when Green Ghost left, there was no need for him to deny his avoidance of Green Ghost. Okay, then I'll give you a chance. But what if you're playing tricks? One-Eyed quickly got up from the ground and stretched out his hands. If you're worried, you can tie me up. Ah! Su-Yun laughed 3 times. The expression on his face quickly dropped to 0 degrees. No need. I'll only remind you once. If I want your life, I can take it at any time. So you won't have a chance to play tricks. Because you're afraid of death, I believe you won't do something you don't have a chance to do. What do you think? One-Eyed swallowed a few mouthfuls of saliva and said in a trembling voice, Yes. Suyin patted his shoulder. I can tell you a place where you can hide. I guarantee that Green Ghost won't dare to go to that place to find trouble with you. One-Eyed's eyes lit up. He was indeed thinking about how to settle down after doing this. He did not believe that his boss Green Ghost would let him go so easily. If he couldn't find a safe place to hide, what should he do? One-Eyed looked at Suyun's eyes and didn't see any intention of deceiving him. He asked carefully what place. Suyun raised his eyebrows. Of course I won't tell you now. I'll tell you after you take me to the place. Trust me, I won't lie to you. And Green Ghost may never find that place. Even if he does find it one day, the owner of that place will never let him mess around. Chapter 279. Ling Jiling was at her wits' end facing Green Ghost, who was about to lose his patience. She didn't know what Green Ghost would ask for in the next second, but she was sure that Green Ghost was the most difficult pervert she had ever met. Because she couldn't reject him, Green Ghost always thought that she was trying to seduce him, which was why he kept asking for more. Miss Ling, you're letting me off easy by doing this. The corners of Green Ghost's mouth rose, and there was an expectant smile on his face. Now that we've eaten supper, tasted the red wine, and drunk the coffee, shouldn't you take me to your room to admire the beauty? Seeing Green Ghost's slanderous face, Ling Jiling felt that her entire back was drenched in sweat. In the past 40 minutes, she had thought of everything to delay Green Ghost, but she still couldn't stop Green Ghost's unstoppable attacks. Mr. Green, do you know how to cook? Ling Jiling's coquettish expression was her trump card. There probably weren't many men in the world who could resist her expression. Anyone who knows how to cook should know that if you want to thoroughly cook tofu, you definitely won't be able to do it without a certain amount of time and heat. People say that haste makes waste. Mr. Green, don't tell me you don't even know this? Green Ghost was slightly startled. He didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He realized that he was already infatuated with this woman. If any other woman spoke to him like this, he would have already slapped them to let them know that even if Green Ghost was impatient, he would still be able to eat tofu. However, this woman made it so that he couldn't do that. He couldn't bear to lay his hands on this woman at all. The Analects of Confucius is the middle path. There's no desire for speed or small profits. Haste makes waste. Small profits make great things impossible. Green Ghost smiled and showed off his elegance. In Huaxia, who hadn't read the Analects of Confucius, this aura was nothing. However, Ling Jiling's expression was exaggerated as she sighed. I didn't expect Mr. Green to have such a deep understanding of Confucianism. I never knew where the proverb, haste makes waste, came from. So it's from the Analects of Confucius. To be exact, it should be from the Analects of Confucius. Green Ghost emphasized. This made it seem like he knew more. Ling Jiling looked at Green Ghost with a look of adoration. This little girl's talent is shallow. So I really don't know that the Analects of Confucius is divided into so many chapters. It seems that Mr. Qing is very familiar with the profound Confucian culture. Can you tell Qi Ling why? The influence of Confucian culture on Mr. Qing must be very deep, right? Ling Jiling's expression was on point. She was indeed a professional actress. Before Ling Jiling entered the Drama Academy to study acting, she had entered the Chinese department of Yenjing University with her extremely high academic scores. How could she not know about the Analects of Confucius? What about Zilu? If the name was not legitimate, the words would not be reasonable. If the words were not reasonable, the matter would not be accomplished. The father hides the son, and the son hides the father. He must keep his word and be firm in his actions. These were all famous sentences in this passage. Ha ha ha, of course, of course. Confucius is known as the heaven-blessed saint, the most erudite of all. Of course, I want to comprehend some principles of life from Confucius' wisdom. How could Green Ghost know anything about Confucian culture? He had just casually read some of the Analects of Confucius. After he took over Feng Qiansui's home, he saw a gold-plated hardcover Analects of Confucius in Feng Qiansui's study. He casually glanced at it, so he remembered this little bit. Ling Jiling smiled beautifully and said, Mr. Qing, Then what do you think of what Confucius said? Only women and villains are difficult to raise. If you are close, you are not inferior. If you are far, you are resentful. The meaning of this is too simple. It means that women and villains are difficult to get along. If you are close, you will not be pleasing to the eye. If you are far away, you will be resentful. Green Ghost said without thinking. Ling Jiling pouted and said, Mr. Qing, I'd rather complain about you than find you an eyesore. Green Ghost was slightly stunned. What did this woman mean by this? He seemed to have fallen into a trap set by Ling Jiling. According to Ling Jiling's meaning, if he wanted her to feel that he was pleasing to the eye, then he had to stay away from her. How was this possible? He, Green Ghost, had just wasted so much time with her. How could he just stay away from her now? In your dreams? Not a chance. Miss Ling, it's a pity. I would rather you not see me as pleasing to the eye than hate me. Green Ghost said bluntly. I don't only know the Analects of Confucius. I also know that if I die under a peony, I will be romantic even as a ghost. It's not just ordinary people who are infatuated with the world's beauties. Give up everything just to wander the world with the woman you love, and live in seclusion in the countryside. Have 100,000 strings of cash around your waist, and ride a crane to Yangzhou. It's better to linger among the beauties and sleep beside the bed and warm pillows. It's more romantic. Ling Jiling didn't think that Green Ghost would be so straightforward. She didn't want to fall out with Green Ghost now. There were still 20 minutes. Su Yun had told her to help him hold on for an hour. Since she had promised Su Yun, then she had to hold on. Ling Jiling knew the importance of time. Sometimes 20 minutes was enough to make or break things. She didn't want to fail at the last moment. Mr. Qing, if you continue like this, I'm afraid that I won't be able to extricate myself from you. Ling Jiling's eyes were hazy. That pitiful look made people want to hold her in their arms. Green Ghost's Adam's apple moved quickly. He suddenly reached out and held Ling Jiling's hand. Miss Ling, I really can't hold it in anymore. If I can't get close to you, I'm afraid that my personality will change. If you don't want to be on the entertainment news tomorrow, then take me to your room to take a look. What's there to see in a hotel room? Ling Jiling asked. She didn't pull her hand out just to fight for a few more minutes. Although the standard of this hotel is good, the decoration style inside is a bit old. I feel that it's very unromantic. I really don't want to live here anymore. Go to my house, Miss Ling. You should know about the Lakeside Villa District. The 8 villas there are all mine. American country style, modern simple style, pure Chinese style, European classical style, Mediterranean style, Southeast Asian style, fashion mix style, neoclassical style. All of them are available. As long as you like it, I'll give you whatever style you want. You can live there, or you can sleep in this style house today and sleep in that style house tomorrow. As long as you like it, I'll accompany you to experience the pleasure of different styles. Green Ghost's eyes began to shine slightly. He couldn't help but stand up. Ling Jiling pouted and shook her head. I don't want to. My mother said that a girl can't go to a boy's house before she gets married. It's easy to get into trouble. Mr. Green is so young and promising. There must be a lot of girls who like you. I'm afraid that someone will be jealous and take revenge. I don't want to go. Whoever dares to take revenge on you, I'll let her die. The moment Green Ghost spoke, he exploded with a chilling aura that made people feel cold all over. Ling Jiling held back the fear in her heart. Mr. Green, no matter what you say, I won't go to your house with you. If you really want to talk with me, then you can book another hotel. Green Ghost was too lazy to care whether it was at home or in a hotel. Hearing Ling Jiling's words, he immediately took out his phone to call Wang Ruping to arrange a hotel for him. Ah, my hand is so cold. Ling Jiling purposely acted coquettishly after Green Ghost's hand left. Green Ghost didn't care about the phone call anymore. He quickly held Ling Jiling's hand with both hands. Miss Ling, when your hand isn't cold, I'll call someone to arrange a room. What do you think? But once your hand leaves, I'll immediately feel cold. Ling Jiling said coquettishly. Mr. Green, is this my dependence on you? I suddenly feel that once your hand leaves mine, I'll feel a sense of loss all over my body. Green Ghost was completely infatuated with Ling Jiling. he said with a twisted smile. Then I won't leave, I won't leave. If Miss Ling doesn't let me let go, then I'll hold your hand for the rest of my life. Ha ha ha. Ling Jiling endured Green Ghost's touch on her hand. This was a sacrifice she had to make. She knew that if she didn't give Green Ghost some benefits, he wouldn't be able to sit still. She had to persist. She had to persist until Su Yin was done with his things. It was nothing more than letting Green Ghost take advantage of her hand. She would just treat it as going to a fan meeting and holding a handshake. Endure, endure, and endure. Wu Yuandong really admired Ling Jiling's ability to adapt to the situation. He couldn't sit still just now. He was thinking about how to take advantage of Green Ghost if he forcefully took Ling Jiling away. But now, Ling Jiling had used her wisdom to calm down Green Ghost. How thrilling! Wu Yuandong raised his hand and looked at his watch. It was 21:15 at night. There were still 15 minutes before Su Yin asked for an hour. Normally, 15 minutes was just the time for 2 cigarettes. But now Wu Yuandong really felt like a year. As a driver, he was no stranger to the feeling of waiting, but he swore that this was the longest he had ever waited for an hour. Only 45 minutes had passed, but it felt like 45 years. If this continued, the remaining 15 minutes would be as unbearable as 15 years. Ling Jiling's hands were held tightly by Green Ghost. She looked at Green Ghost with a forced smile and said, "Aya, you're hurting me." From time to time. This feeling was even more unbearable than Wu Yuandong. She really wanted to know where the Crown Prince was, and when he would let her end this torment. Chapter 280. Su Yin was also faced with a new problem. He was brought to a villa in the corner of the Lakeside Villa district by One-Eyed. There were no lights in the villa, and it seemed to be devoid of people. However, One-Eyed insisted that Cho Yun was in this villa. One-Eyed wouldn't lie, because Su Yin had clearly told him that this was his moment of life and death. He wouldn't joke about his own life. He was still waiting for Su Yin to tell him about the safe place, the place where Boss Green Ghost would never find or dare to go. Even if Green Ghost went there, the people in charge wouldn't let him mess around. One-Eyed was looking forward to finding out where this place was. Even if he didn't betray Boss, he also hoped that he could go to that place. He didn't want to continue living in fear at Green Ghost's place. I'll ask you one last time. Are you sure that Violent Fox Venerable is locked in here? Su Yun's gaze fell on One-Eyed's face like a bolt of lightning in the dark night. One-Eyed shivered from Su Yun's glare. If I lie to you, then I'll be struck by lightning. God will punish me by punishing me with a useless body in my next life. I've already sworn. If you still don't believe me, then there's nothing I can do. The basement of this villa is the largest and most hidden. That's why Boss locked Violent Fox Venerable in here. However, I really don't know how many people are guarding here. Okay. I believe you. I hope you won't be a useless body in your next life. Su Yin sneered. Where is the absolutely safe place you said you were going to tell me about? How should I go there? One-Eyed had paid the price. Of course, he wanted to get something in return. What he wanted was very simple. He wanted to know the absolutely safe place and then hide there. He didn't want to be caught by Green Ghost for the rest of his life. That way, he would be able to live a carefree life. It was much better than staying in this place where he was constantly on the edge. Su Yin relaxed his eyebrows and looked at One-Eyed. Do you really want to go to that place to hide? Don't regret it. It's easy to go, but it's not easy to come back. As long as you are sure you want to go, I will send you there. There's no point for me to stay here. Boss won't let me go. Of course, I have to go to that place. One-Eyed insisted. You'll send me? How is he going to give it to her? What kind of place is that? King of Hell's Palace. Su Yun's smile was very relaxed. You should know that the King of Hell in the King of Hell's Palace is in charge of the little ghosts. If you go there, Green Ghost will definitely not go there to find trouble with you. The expression on the One-Eyed man's face became more and more surprised. In the end, his mouth was already in a state where it could not be closed. This was King messing with him. Hell's Palace. Of course, if you went to that place, you wouldn't be able to return. That damned bastard. But now that things had progressed to this point, he had no way to retreat. Su-yun would not give him the chance to shout. When Su-yun's powerful palm landed on One-Eye's chest, One-Eye spat out a mouthful of pus and blood several meters away. He would never have thought that he would die in this lakeside villa area. Moreover, he would not die in the hands of Green Ghost. It had been a long time since Su-yun went on a killing spree like this, and everyone he killed today deserved to die. Take this one-eyed man for example. He was the one who killed a family of 5 in Lingdong County. No wonder the police couldn't find him even after searching all over the country for such a long time. It turned out that this guy was hiding under Green Ghost. People like him deserved to die. There were no less than hundreds or thousands of people who had fallen in the hands of Su-yun. Therefore, Su-yun did not hesitate at all when he made a move. For Su-yun, it was not a pity to kill this kind of person who harmed society. It was also beneficial to society. Facing this villa, Su-yun's sixth sense told him that this place was not that simple. However, there were no signs of guards, which made Su-yun wonder if this was done by Green Ghost on purpose. Because there was no one guarding this place, it made him feel that Cho-yun would not be locked up here. No matter what, this villa was indeed very suspicious. Su-yun looked at the time. It was already 9:10. He began to worry that Ling Jiling would not be able to hold on. Now he had to end this quickly. If he couldn't find Cho-yun here, then he would really have to wreak havoc in the lakeside villa area. At that time, it would not be as simple as killing everyone here. In the blink of an eye, Su-yun had already entered the courtyard of the villa. He gently opened the door of the villa. There was only a faint yellow light from the wall lamp inside. The whole house seemed exceptionally quiet. Su-yun learned from One-Eyed that Cho-yun was locked up in the basement of this villa. One-Eyed himself did not know where the basement was. It was because the basement was hidden here that Green Ghost chose this place. After Su-yun calmed down, he did not feel anyone's aura in this villa. There were only 2 possibilities. Either there was nothing here, or One-Eyed was lying to him. Either that, or Cho-yun was the only one who was locked up in a hidden basement, so that no one could detect her existence. Of these 2 possibilities, Su-yun's intuition told him that it was the second one. He believed that Cho-yun was here. There was no reason, it was just his intuition. Su-yun knew that he did not have time. He had to solve this problem as soon as possible. There were 7 rooms on the first floor of this villa. The living room, dining room, bathroom, video room, entertainment room, multi-purpose room, and servant's room. Su-yun searched once but did not find any so-called passageway to the basement. It was really hidden. Su-yun was anxious. He was so anxious that he could not help but go to the bathroom to solve a small problem. From the afternoon when he met Wang Ruping until now, Su-yun had not gone to the bathroom even once. Now that he suddenly felt something, he really could not help it. After solving his personal problem, Su-yun closed the toilet lid and pressed the flush button. However, what shocked him was that the toilet did not flush, but the wall in the shower room opened with a bang. But Su-yun didn't even have the chance to be surprised, because a cold light flashed in the room. He felt a cold blade with biting cold air stabbing directly at his face. Relying on his many years of combat experience and sharp reaction speed, although Su-yun's body could not react in time, his brain reflexively retreated to the side. He saw a silver light brush past Su-yun's ear. With a ding sound, the silver light sank into the oak shelf on the washbasin behind Su-yun. A name flashed in Su-yun's mind. Swallow Throwing Dagger. This throwing dagger was not a joke. The Yen school was not to be trifled with. The swallow throwing dagger was shaped like a swallow. The wings of the swallow were like knives, and it was 3 inches long. Although it was forged from ordinary steel, it was one of the best weapons in the world according to the World Armament Manual. The reason for this was very simple. It was not the throwing dagger that was powerful, but the person who used it was from the Yen school. The Yen school here was not the same as the light industry swallow sect. This was a hidden weapon sect that shook the world. However, every generation of Yen schoolmasters considered themselves to be a famous sect. They would never allow their own people to participate in the disputes of the underworld. That was why Su-yun was shocked, because the flying dagger he saw just now was a swallow flying dagger. At this moment, Su-yun did not have time to think. After the swallow throwing dagger was called out, a nimble figure suddenly appeared in front of Su-yun. This person's martial arts were definitely not weak, because when the throwing dagger flew out, Soo-yun did not even see the person's shadow. However, in an instant, the person appeared in front of Soo-yun. This person's speed was even faster than the swallow throwing dagger. The opponent's lightning-like 3 consecutive strikes were all aimed at Soo-yun's vital parts. So much so that Soo-yun was momentarily flustered, and could only rely on his body's conditioned reflexes from years of combat experience to dodge Chi's ruthless attack. Fortunately, Soo-yun's adjustment ability was very strong. He quickly reversed his disadvantageous situation. As long as he retreated from the bathroom, he would have enough space to retreat. Then he would not be so passive. However, just as Soo-yun was retreating, the person raised his right hand. A silver light flew towards Soo-yun's face. Soo-yun single-handedly grabbed the leather sofa beside him. The swallow-throwing dagger once again sank into the sofa. Who are you? How can Mr. Jin Guai's sect have a scum like you? Soo-yun angrily shouted. He raised his leg and kicked the sofa away. The huge leather sofa crashed towards the person. In order to avoid the sofa, the person finally revealed his true identity. He had a short stature of around 1.48 meters. His body was as thin as a forest, and he had a head that wasn't considered small. His pupils could be described as the eyes of a night owl, and they were so black that they shone brightly. Soo-yun couldn't remember such a person in Swallowgate. You know Jin Guai? The person with the short stature who used the orthodox swallow-throwing dagger coldly said. What is your relationship with Jin Guai? Soo-yun frowned. The Swallow sect placed great importance on respecting their master. If it was someone from the Swallow sect, even if it was a traitor, Soo-yun did not believe that he would dare to call Mr. Jin Guai by his name. Therefore, just based on this point, Soo-yun could conclude that this person was not from the Swallow sect. He was definitely not Mr. Jin Guai's disciple. From ancient times to the current underworld and righteous sects, there was a very serious taboo against stealing martial arts. If the person in front of him had secretly learned the swallow-throwing dagger, then he had committed a grave sin. Stealing martial arts is a shameful thing in the world. Aren't you afraid that you will fall into a bottomless abyss and never be able to rise again? Soo-yun coldly said. Today he would let this person know the consequences of his actions. Who are you? The person faced Soo-yun without any fear. He raised his head and puffed out his chest. Since you want to know, I am not afraid to tell you. My name is Jin Xiao. I am Jin Guai's junior from the same sect. Chapter 281. Speaking of which, the origin of the Yen school and the swallow-flying dagger was not small. During the golden age of the Ming dynasty, the founder of the Yen school, Jin Tianxian, was not a martial artist at first. He was a second-rank imperial censor of the supervisory court, directly under the emperor. Because he was tired of the secular and endless intrigue of the officialdom, Jin Tianxian decided to leave the imperial capital and wander around the world, living the life of an idle person. However, he did not expect that when he just entered the South Sea, he was kidnapped by a local evil gang. Because they knew that he was a second-rank official, they wanted to take the opportunity to blackmail him. However, Jin Tianxian had been honest all his life and did not have the million taels of silver they wanted. Therefore, they wanted to take his life in anger. It was at this time that Jin Tianxian was saved by the legendary immortal Yin Wuxing. After that, Jin Tianxian followed Yin Wuxing to the Kunlun Mountains to cultivate. 20 years passed in a flash and Yin Wuxing disappeared again. After Jin Tianxian left the Kunlun Mountains, he established the Yen school. The disciples of each leader were all orphans and were given the surname Jin. They were educated from a young age in ideology, morality, and martial arts. Then, they became famous for their chivalrous deeds with the flying dagger. After a few hundred years, although the current society was no longer the Jianghu of the past, after the law was established, there was no need for individuals or groups to enforce justice. Therefore, the reputation of the Yen school gradually disappeared. Although the reputation of the Yen school was hidden, it did not disappear. In the eyes of the underground world, they were a steel nail that could pierce people at any time. In the eyes of ordinary people, they were a group of people who were more ordinary than ordinary people. However, it had a different meaning in Su Yun's eyes, because he had almost entered the Yen school back then. It was because once he entered the Yen school, he would be given the surname Jin Yun. That was why he was rejected, because Su Yun would rather be beaten to death than change his surname. Su Yun and the Yen school had some connections. At that time, Jin Guoyi also liked Su Yun very much and felt that he and Su Yun were very fated. However, due to the rules of the Yen school, Su Yun could not enter the Jin school if he was not willing to change his surname. Therefore, they missed the chance to be master and disciple. However, this did not hinder their friendship later on. After all, the relationship between Su Yun's master, Wang Yi, and Jin Guoyi was not as simple as ordinary friends. With Su Yun's understanding of the Yen Gate, he knew who Jin Xiao was. If Su Yun had joined the Yen Gate, Jin Xiao would have been his uncle. However, Su Yun had never seen Jin Xiao before, but Su Yun was sure that he was definitely over 50 years old. However, the man who claimed to be Jin Xiao was definitely not that old. Since I know Mr. Jin Guoyi, then you should know that I have some sort of relationship with the Yen Gate. Do you think I would believe you if you pretended to be Mr. Jin Guoyi's junior with your age? Su Yun sneered. The difference is too big. Most importantly, Jin Xiao, the traitor of the Yen Gate, was executed by Jin Guoyi himself. I'm not the only one who knows about this. Hearing Su Yun's words, Jin Xiao looked up and laughed. Haha, do you really think you know a lot of things? Young man, you think too highly of yourself. Do you think Jin Guoyi will kill me just because he said so? Ha ha ha. While laughing, Jin Xiao's face suddenly turned cold. Let me tell you, in order to save my life, I wasted most of my power. In order to save my life, I abandoned my body. In order to save my life, I sacrificed too much. But I survived. Jin Xiao survived. At the end of his words, Jin Xiao suddenly raised his voice. Then, two black swallow-shaped flying knives came out of his sleeves and stabbed directly at Su Yun's face. Although Su Yun was at a loss, he wanted to know if this man was telling the truth. However, he had no time to think about other things at this time. In the face of these two flying knives, Su Yun had to go all out to avoid them. If Jin Xiao was really Mr. Jin Guoyi's junior, then he must be a master of the supreme power realm. Su Yun could not win at all. That was a world of difference. However, although this person's strength was good, he must not have reached the level of a master of the supreme power realm. Su Yun was sure of that. Because once a master of the supreme power realm was angry, the pressure emitted by his body was enough to make Su Yun lose half of his momentum. More importantly, a master of the supreme power realm could not be used by Green Ghost. Even if Green Ghost's strength was good, he was just a super master like Su Yun. In the blink of an eye, the two of them had fought back and forth for more than a dozen rounds. Su Yun gradually found the pattern of dodging the flying knives, so he could deal with it with ease. He now understood what the man had said just now. He said that he had wasted most of his strength to save his life. Su Yun began to believe this, because this person's flying knife technique was not proportional to his strength. He was absolutely skilled in using the flying knives, but his strength was only the same as Su Yun's when he had just broken through to the supreme power realm. During this period of time after Su Yun had broken through to the realm of supreme expert, he had relied on his high perception and perseverance in his breathing technique to reach the realm of supreme expert second order. Therefore, Su Yun's current strength could be considered to be at a slight advantage. If it weren't for the swallow flying dagger technique being too powerful, Su Yun wouldn't have been unable to seize the opportunity to obtain victory in a single strike. Finally, Su Yun noticed a touch of worry on his opponent's face. He knew that the opportunity he had been waiting for had finally come. Jin Zhao's face became more and more dignified because he could not believe that such a young guy could dodge his 17 flying knives in a row. The flying knives of the Yen school were all stored in special sleeves. There were 3 rows and only 18 of them could be stored. Only people like Mr. Jin Guoyi, who had practiced to the point where he could use both hands, could carry 36 flying knives in 2 sleeves. Only Mr. Jin Guoyi in the Yen school could do this. Now there was only 1 flying knife left in Jin Zhao's right sleeve. He knew that he only had 1 chance. If he could not seize it this time, then he would not be able to win at all with his fists and feet. He was very clear that his strength was not what it used to be. If he had not been seriously injured that day, he would not have put this kid in his eyes. He certainly would not have agreed to help guard Green Ghost's house. I admit defeat. Jin Xiao suddenly stopped. The people of the Yen school are half useless without their flying knives. You should have heard this saying. I don't have any flying knives now, so I admit defeat. The person you are looking for is inside. You can take him away at any time. I swear I will never stop you. Su Yin smiled and narrowed his eyes. Then he strode toward the secret door in the bathroom. The moment he turned his back to Jin Xiao's eyes suddenly flashed with cold light. In that instant, his right hand flew up once again, and the last swallow flying dagger stabbed towards Su Yun's heart from the back even faster than an arrow. Jin Zhao's face also began to brighten as the flying knife shot out. What he wanted was the moment when his opponent relaxed. Just a moment was enough. However, Jin Xiao would never have thought that just as the swallow flying dagger was about to pierce his opponent's body, his opponent would actually flip backwards and dodge his fatal blow. This was definitely a well-prepared move. Otherwise, his flying knife would not give him time to think. Jin Xiao suddenly felt that he had been fooled. He had always been proud of fooling others, but he did not expect that he would be fooled by others this time. After Su Yun flipped back to avoid the fatal flying knife, he turned back and sneered. You are really Jin Xiao. Although you have almost completely changed your appearance, your character of swearing is meaningless like farts has not changed. I have heard that the Yen school has 18 flying knives. Do you think I will believe you just because you said that? Jin Zhao's face changed greatly. When he was fighting with this guy, he did not remember how many flying knives he had shot out. Otherwise, he would not have fallen to the point where there was only one left. And this brat could clearly remember that he had shot out 17 of them. This guy's strength was really terrifying, but what was more terrifying was his meticulous mind. Such a person would not be at a disadvantage in any confrontation. Without the flying knife, Jin Xiao was really lame. His first thought was to run. He did not understand why Green Ghost had not responded when the white people had invaded here. He had to ask for help. But now Su Yun would not give him a chance. When Jin Xiao wanted to escape, Su Yun's fist had already hit Jin Zhao's chest with all his internal strength and genuine qi. It was a thunderous blow. Jin Xiao had gone through more than a year of horrible and deadly surgery to transplant all his organs and memories into this person's body. So this body could not withstand the power of Su Yun's fist. After all, this body was not Jin Zhao's. It did not have the strength of Jin Zhao's own body. He did not even dare to let a third-rate master hit his body with all his strength. For the past year, Jin Xiao was able to survive because of his flying knife technique. Ordinary people could not get close to his body at all. This time he was careless. As long as he had one more flying knife, he was sure that the opponent would not get close to his body so unscrupulously. This was because the swallow flying knife never missed within 3 meters. It was like the truth. Not to mention his technique, even the technique of an ordinary disciple would never miss within 3 meters. The sound of his heart exploding was very terrifying, as if it had exploded in his ears. Jin Zhao's eyes were wide open. Even his senior brother could not kill him, but he was killed by an unknown guy. Jin Xiao died quietly. Until his death, he did not know that this unknown guy was the little Su Yun who had changed his surname in the Yen school, and had no chance to become his senior brother's disciple. Su Yun saw Jin Zhao's body fall heavily to the ground. He knew that he had no chance to live. Although Su Yun finally entered the Dragon Brigade, and had no chance to become a disciple of the Yen school and Mr. Jin Gui, he still respected Mr. Jin Gui from the bottom of his heart. Chapter 282. After killing the last guard, Su Yun still did not let down his guard. He still carefully walked down the secret door. Just as Su Yun carefully walked down the steps, he suddenly felt the steps under his feet slightly loosen. Then an ear-piercing alarm quickly filled Su Yun's ears. At this moment, Su Yun finally understood why the last guard needed to be a skinny person who was less than 1.5 meters tall. It was because only people who weighed less than 50 to 60 kilograms could walk freely on the steps that would trigger the alarm. It seemed that the previous owner of this villa must have hidden something very important in the basement. Otherwise, he wouldn't have used such an advanced alarm device. Soo-yin didn't have time to be surprised. He believed that since the security was so tight, the possibility of Cho-yun being locked up here was 80 to 90%. He quickened his pace into the basement. He had to save Cho-yun before he was surrounded like a turtle in a jar. At the same time, Cho-yun, who had been locked up in the basement for many days, finally opened her weak eyes. Her first feeling was that Soo-yin had come. Although she had been locked up in this dark basement without eating or drinking for many days, she still tried her best to conserve her strength. Ever since she was caught by Green Ghost, she believed that she would have a chance to escape. She never imagined that the person who would save her would be Soo-yin. She was also most afraid that the person who would save her would be Soo-yin. But now that Soo-yin was standing in front of her, she understood that the only person who could save her was Soo-yin. There would be no other person who could save her from this Green Ghost's ghost cave. Soo-yin originally wanted to scold Cho-yun when he saw her. He wanted to ask her if she had any brains. He wanted to ask her if she wanted to die. He wanted to ask her if she really wanted Guogwa to lose her biological sister again. But all of this was thrown to the back of his mind the moment Soo-yin saw Cho-yun. As long as she was fine, as long as she was still alive and hadn't been defiled by Green Ghost, everything else didn't matter. Soo-yin only wanted to be safe. Nothing else mattered. Most of the time, people really needed to understand each other more. Although Soo-yin was angry at Cho-yun for letting her only son come back to this dangerous place, after he thought about it carefully, he could understand why she did this. He believed that Cho-yun really didn't mean to do this. He believed that Cho-yun really couldn't control her emotions. If he were in her shoes, Soo-yin felt that he would also do the same thing as Cho-yun. After all, Cho-yun was indebted to Feng Qiansui. Cho-yun had enough reasons to be unreconciled. Now that Green Ghost had a new powerful backer, Cho-yun was naturally worried that Green Ghost would endanger Guogwa and implicate Soo-yin and Ruan Qingshuang. All of these reasons made Cho-yun unable to continue waiting. Even if she didn't have the strength to take the initiative, she wanted to know the real-time situation. This was also for Soo-yin and Guogwa's sake. If it was for herself, Cho-yun would have flown away long ago. She took the risk to return to Swang, not because she was stupid, but because she was brainless. It was because she really cared about Guogwa too much, so she was worried and afraid. Soo-yin could understand Cho-yun's actions. It was entirely because he had come to Swang alone this time. Previously, he had never thought of coming to this place to provoke Green Ghost. However, when he really knew that the people around him were in danger, he still came here without caring about the consequences. Furthermore, he charged into the tiger's den without caring about the consequences. Many times, when people did things, the first thing they considered was not themselves, but the important people around them. That was why they did things that others could not understand. For example, if something happened to Soo-yin in Swang, Ruan Qingshuang and the others would definitely rush over without hesitation, even if they had no combat strength. Zwamayan would definitely not be afraid of offending a big shot like the Netherworld King. She would definitely fight Green Ghost to the death. Soo-yin did not say anything. His fingers were like iron pliers as he broke the thick iron chains tied to Cho-yun's hands and feet. Cho-yun did not say anything at first. When she could move freely, she could not help but apologize. Sorry. I really didn't do it on purpose. I know. Don't say anything. When we return to Hudong, pretend that nothing happened. You don't want Guogwa to worry, right? Soo-yin smiled slightly. Can you still walk? Do you need me to carry you? Cho-yun nodded. Then her eyes became piercingly cold. Of course. I've been conserving my strength, waiting for a chance to kill Green Ghost. Green Ghost is not here right now. If he is here, I'm afraid I won't have the chance to enter here. Soo-yin said bluntly. I used a trick to lure the snake out of its hole. That's why I had the chance to save you. Now that I've activated the alarm, I don't know if Green Ghost will know that something happened. However, I believe that his subordinates here won't let us out so easily. Fortunately, you can still fight. As long as we are not attacked from the front and back, I believe that the people here won't be able to stop us. Let's go. Cho-yun nodded firmly. She followed closely behind Soo-yin. The two of them quickly left the basement. However, even with their fast speed, when they came out, all the remaining people in the Lakeside Villa district had gathered at the entrance of the villa. Of course, this included the 8 people guarding the main entrance. Everyone looked at each other. No one knew how Soo-Yin had managed to sneak in. Of course, they also realized that many of their companions were missing. They also knew that those people were probably dead. However, if they wanted to live now, they had to capture these 2 people. Otherwise, when the boss came back, they would all be buried with him. Soo-Yin looked at Cho-Yun. He used his gaze to ask if there was any problem with her. The response he received was still very firm. Since that was the case, Soo-Yin was no longer worried. He nodded and signaled for them to attack. The sudden appearance of the 2 of them without any warning really caught the group of watchdogs who had come to encircle and suppress them off guard. After all, one of them was a super expert and the other a first-rate expert. Although it was a bit difficult for them to face these second- and third-rate experts, it was not to the point where they would be in danger. Soo-Yin was the main attacker and Cho-Yun was the support. The 2 of them, one from the front and one from the back, cooperated seamlessly. At this time, Soo-Yin did not show any mercy. He did not leave any chance for the opponent. The Lakeside Villa district was a mess. In the restaurant on the top floor of the Waltz Hotel, Green Ghost was completely silent as Ling Jiling praised him. However, there was finally a time when he was tired of hearing praises. After enduring it for a while, he finally could not hold it in anymore. He had wasted an entire hour with this woman in front of this damn table. In an hour, he had only taken advantage of her a little. This was not Green Ghost style. Miss Ling, I hope that we can find a place where only the 2 of us can be alone. Then I will help you warm your hands. Let alone your hands. Even if it is anywhere on your body, as long as you are cold, I can help you warm it up. Green Ghost narrowed his eyes. If you don't agree, I am afraid that I will lose my patience. Miss Ling, you have tested me for so long. You should give me some benefits now, right? Ling Jiling had a bright smile on her face, but her heart was already in her throat. Mr. Green, you are already losing your patience in such a short time? I think this feeling is good. I want to enjoy this feeling of being liked by you a little more. I really like the feeling of your heart being itchy now. It had already been an hour. Soo-Yin did not appear. Ling Jiling did not know what she should do now. Completely fall out with Green Ghost? Would he fly into a rage out of humiliation? Would she really go out with Green Ghost? That would be too big of a sacrifice. She did not dare to believe that this person would do anything to her. Miss Ling, you have enjoyed this feeling for so long. You should let me enjoy yours, right? Green Ghost's voice was clear. He was forcefully suppressing his patience. Let's find a place where there's no one. I promise I'll give you an even more enjoyable feeling. I'll make you like it the first time and want that feeling every day. Hee, how about it? Of course, Ling Jiling understood what Green Ghost meant. She clenched her teeth. Time was up. She couldn't continue to be entangled with Green Ghost. Green Ghost's words were getting more and more explicit. She didn't know what Green Ghost would say next. Mr. Green, please be more respectful. I am not the kind of woman you think I am. Ling Jiling suddenly put away her coquettish woman feeling and looked at Green Ghost with a righteous expression. If you continue to be like this, I think there is no need for us to continue talking. Green Ghost was surprised by Ling Jiling's sudden change. He could not believe that a woman who was just like a little bird to him would suddenly fall out with him. Green Ghost was not a kind man. Seeing Ling Jiling play this trick with him, his face immediately turned cold. Miss Ling, do you really think you are a noble lady? Don't think that I don't know how dirty your entertainment circle is. You should be honored that I think highly of you. Don't refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. Come with me. With that, Green Ghost stood up as if he wanted to forcefully take Ling Jiling away. Ling Jiling did not expect Green Ghost to react so harshly. For a moment, she was really at a loss. In the corner of the restaurant, Wu Yuandong's mind was also buzzing. It was already the end. Why did Ling Jiling suddenly fall out with him? What was he supposed to do now? Was he really going to go against Green Ghost? I won't. Ling Jiling did not know where her courage came from. But she rejected Green Ghost's request. Green Ghost's eyes showed a touch of cruelty. He really wanted to strip this damned woman naked right now and do it on the spot. However, at this moment, Wu Yuandong gathered his courage and stood in front of Green Ghost. He blocked Ling Jiling behind him and said to Green Ghost, "You better be polite to Miss Ling." Chapter 283. Just when Wu Yuandong was ready to take Green Ghost's heavy punch, the phone in Green Ghost's pocket suddenly rang, interrupting Green Ghost's next move. Green Ghost seemed to be very concerned about the call, and quickly picked it up. This finally gave Wu Yuandong a chance to catch his breath. Wu Yuandong had the urge to take Ling Jiling and escape, but in the end he gave up on this idea. If he was alone, then he would have a chance to escape. But if he took Ling Jiling, then it would be impossible for them to escape from Green Ghost's grasp. What? Green Ghost's expression changed drastically after picking up the phone. The veins on his forehead and his eyes almost popped out made people tremble in fear. What happened? Ling Jiling and Wu Yuandong's hearts jumped to their throats. Green Ghost was in a completely berserk state right now. The consequences of offending him right now would be tragic. However, what Green Ghost did next was completely out of their expectations. He didn't pay any attention to his target today, Ling Jiling, nor did he pay any attention to Wu Yuandong who provoked him just now. He kicked over the chair and left the scene. Ling Jiling and Wu Yuandong widened their eyes. Their faces were filled with confusion. Wu Yuandong looked at his watch and nodded thoughtfully. An hour had passed. Su Yin said they only needed to hold on for an hour. Did Su Yin cause Green Ghost some big trouble? Wu Yuandong couldn't guess, but he knew that they probably couldn't stay in Swang any longer. Perhaps they would have to leave tonight. What do we do? Ling Jiling didn't know how to react on the spot. She finally walked out of the fear and finally let out a sigh of relief. Luckily, the prince only asked her to hold on for an hour. If it was 2 hours, she might really have to give herself to Green Ghost. Wu Yuandong's answer was very certain. Go back and pack up. I don't think we can stay here any longer. But the commercial is only halfway done. Ling Jiling was stunned. We can't report to Mr. Zhua at all. Even if it's almost done, it's still not done. The prince doesn't care, but how am I going to report to Mr. Zhua? Is it more important to report or your life? After Wu Yuandong said this, Ling Jiling immediately nodded her head. She knew that she had no choice now. If he left, then so be it. There was always a chance for him to explain his work, but he only had one life. The two of them did not care about the shocked gazes of the surrounding customers. They quickly left the restaurant and went back to their rooms to pack their things. They were prepared to leave this place at any time when Su Yin returned. They would immediately rush back to Jibei City. Green Ghost had a murderous look on his face, causing Wang Ruping's heart to tremble. On the way back, he had already stepped on the accelerator to 160 miles per hour, but Green Ghost still urged him to go faster, faster. Wang Ruping knew that Su Yin must have succeeded. Right now, he was really worried that Green Ghost would be able to see that he was also Su Yin's accomplice. If Green Ghost could see through this, then he would definitely die without a burial ground. What to do? Wang Ruping could only resign himself to fate. After speeding all the way back to lakeside scenery, Wang Ruping directly barged in under Green Ghost's orders, because there was no one at the entrance anymore. After entering, Wang Ruping was dumbfounded. On the way back to the villa, he could see bodies lying on the ground everywhere. This scene was even scarier than entering a cemetery late at night. At this moment, Wang Ruping did not dare to curse Su Yin in his heart, because he realized that Su Yin was definitely a ruthless character when he fought. Luckily, he did not offend him. Otherwise, it would be hard to say whether he would be able to survive. Green Ghost looked at all of this and the veins on his temples were about to explode. The moment Wang Ruping stopped the car, Green Ghost angrily kicked the entire car door and flew a few meters away. Then he walked out of the car. Wang Ruping's heart was stuck in his throat. Seeing Green Ghost's angry reaction, he could imagine that if that kick had landed on his stomach, would he end up in a worse state than the car door? After Green Ghost got out of the car, the only subordinate who could still stand at the entrance of the villa looked at him in panic as he walked in step by step. Boss. Sorry. We really don't have the ability. Green Ghost's third-rate subordinate was so scared that his legs were almost unable to stand. When that killing god left to save people, he was already scared to death. However, that killing god left him alive and told him to call Green Ghost back. At first he did not dare to do so, but if he did not make this call, he would immediately die, so he had no choice but to call Green Ghost. Obviously, he felt that after Green Ghost knew, his life would probably be saved. What the hell happened? Green Ghost's face turned pale. Suddenly, he felt a surge of heat in his heart. He actually spat out a mouthful of pus and blood. Chi and blood attacked his heart. This was an internal injury caused by anger. He really couldn't believe that his lakeside villa area would one day be filled with such a scene of mourning. The last time it became like this was when he had just arrived in Swang. The last person who was attacked by Chi and blood because of this scene was Feng Qiansui. However, in just 3 months, the person who was attacked by Chi and blood became him. Fox Noble was saved by someone. That person, we are no match for him at all. The only surviving subordinate stuttered. He did not know how to explain to his boss that he could survive. Green Ghost clenched his fists tightly and pulled the man in front of him. How is this possible? That place was guarded by the descendant of Swallow Flying Dagger, Jin Xiao. How could someone save Cho Yun? Real. It's true. Jin Xiao is dead. This sentence was definitely a bolt from the blue for Green Ghost. He was completely dumbfounded. Although Jin Xiao had changed his body, he still had the strength of a super master. It was impossible for him to be defeated so easily. More importantly, Jin Xiao was not one of Green Ghost's people. Green Ghost did not have the ability to ask such a person to work for him. Jin Xiao was one of Nether King's people. He was someone he borrowed from Nether King. The person he borrowed from Nether King died in his home. How could he explain it? If he angered Nether King, even 10 of him would not be enough to kill him. Green Ghost's legs went soft, and he almost knelt on the ground. However, he still supported his body in the end. Even if his chi and blood attacked his heart and hurt himself, Green Ghost was a super master after all. His ability to heal himself was still very strong. How did they come in? Did they not see the surveillance? With so many of you together, even a super master who is 1 level higher than me would not be able to escape. Why were you all annihilated? Could it be that a master of the Supreme Realm came? Green Ghost did not believe that Cho Yun had such great ability. If she could invite a master of the Supreme Realm, he would not have had the chance to destroy the Feng family. No. He snuck in and defeated us one by one. When we last knew there was someone, there were less than 20 people left. At that time, that person also saved Fox Noble. He must have the strength of a super master himself. In addition, Cho Yun is a first-class master. We are not their opponents at all. The only surviving subordinate hurriedly explained. Green Ghost's facial features were completely distorted. How could he have snuck in? Unless he had fallen from the sky. He did not believe that someone could sneak into the lakeside scenery villa under his surveillance without any blind spots. The furious Green Ghost suddenly exerted force with both hands and strangled his only surviving subordinate to death. Wang Ruping watched from behind as the man struggled in Green Ghost's hands. He couldn't stop swallowing his saliva. He could imagine Green Ghost doing the same to him. It would be like crying out to the heavens and crying out to the heavens. Green Ghost let go of the subordinate that he had strangled to death and threw him aside. He looked up at the night sky angrily. Su Yun, I know it's you. How did you get in? Tell me. If you have the ability, then fight me. After cursing at the sky a few times, Green Ghost suddenly thought of something and shot his cold eyes directly at Wang Ruping. Wang Ruping's heart skipped a beat. It's over. Green Ghost must be suspecting him now. How could he explain this? He could not admit it, even if he was beaten to death. Wang Ruping was very clear that once he admitted that he was involved with Su Yun, then he could immediately go see the King of Hell. Green Ghost walked step by step towards Wang Ruping and stared at him fiercely. Tell me, is it you? Today, only you came in and out of my territory. Were you the one who brought her in? Wang Ruping, is it you? Tell me. Wang Ruping was so scared that he kept stepping back. Ting, ting. Master Green, you can't wrong me. I don't know what you're talking about at all. I came here to pick you up to meet Ling Jiling. I have absolutely no other intentions towards you. You know we're friends. Ling Jiling. Green Ghost suddenly hugged his head with both hands and shook it fiercely a few times. How big of a setup was this? Although Green Ghost had no evidence to suspect Wang Ruping, he was basically sure that Wang Ruping was also a chess piece in this game of chess. If it weren't for Wang Ruping, he wouldn't have been let out to meet Ling Jiling. What a good trick to lure the snake out of its hole. Green Ghost finally understood that he had fallen into a trap. This time, he had lost completely, but he was not convinced. Since they dared to trick him like this, he must teach them a lesson. Take me back immediately. Green Ghost glared at Wang Ruping fiercely. They colluded. Can't you see it? Take me back. Wang Ruping scolded in his heart. I didn't see it. Humph, I think you really didn't see it. You were blinded by lust, you deserve it. But he didn't dare to say this out loud. He could only point at his Audi. Master Green, you just kicked the door down. Chapter 284. Wang Ruping stood fearfully in the empty lakeside villa district. A chilly wind blew past, and his back was instantly covered in cold sweat. He didn't even dare to guess how many people had died in the construction of the most luxurious villa district in Suang. This place was simply a huge graveyard. Now, Wang Ruping didn't want to stay here for even a minute. Since Green Ghost had gone crazy to find trouble with Su Yun, should Wang Ruping secretly rejoice? At least now he had finally walked out of this pool of muddy water. Green Ghost had found the person he was looking for, and Su Yun had also gotten the result he wanted. Finally, he didn't need to be stuck in the middle to be tortured. Now Wang Ruping just wanted to go home, take a good shower, and then sleep with his head covered. He hoped that when he woke up tomorrow morning, he would see a hopeful sun. In the Waltz Hotel, Ling Jiling and Wu Yuandong quickly packed their things into the car, then checked out and drove to the hotel entrance to wait for Su Yun to arrive at any time. When they were about to leave Suang, Su Yun called and asked them to check out immediately and drive away quickly. He also asked them to pick him up at the main entrance of the Suang Medical College affiliated hospital. Hearing that Su Yun went to the hospital, Ling Jiling's heart was in her throat. Wu Yuandong wasn't sure what had happened to Su Yun, but he was afraid that things would be very bad because the person Su Yun had offended this time was Green Ghost. It would be difficult for him to get any benefits without paying a price. Going to the hospital wasn't a big deal. At least he could call and ask them to pick him up, which meant that he could still move on his own. This was already the best result. About 15 minutes later, Wu Yuandong drove to the main entrance of the Suang Medical College affiliated hospital. Before he stopped the car, he saw that Su Yun was not alone. Beside him was a tall woman who looked extremely weak. Su Yun was supporting the woman who was basically unconscious and patiently waiting for their arrival. After Wu Yuandong stopped the car, he quickly jumped out of the car. Ling Jiling also quickly opened the door and ran out. She was really worried about Su Yun's safety. Even if President Zhu didn't ask her to take good care of the crown prince before he left, she would still be anxious. She didn't want anything to happen to Su Yun. As long as Su Yun was safe and healthy, she would rather deal with that Green Ghost for another hour. After Ling Jiling got out of the car, she saw Su Yun and Wu Yuandong supporting a semi-conscious woman. At this moment, Ling Jiling's heart was filled with endless jealousy. Even though she knew very well that she had no right to be jealous, she still couldn't help but clench her fists. Perhaps sometimes, a woman's IQ and EQ weren't that high, but her sharp sixth sense could often accurately determine what was going on. At this moment, Ling Jiling's sixth sense told her that Su Yun was using her to lure out the demon-like Green Ghost, and then save the woman in his arms. At this moment, Ling Jiling really felt a little resentful. She wasn't that noble and noble. The crown prince asked her to do something dangerous to save another woman. What if she got involved in the danger? Didn't he think about his own safety? This was the trigger for Ling Jiling's hatred. However, this hatred only flashed past her eyes. Seeing that Su Yun and the others had already arrived at the car, Ling Jiling still went forward and took the arm of the woman she really didn't want to care about from Wu Yuandong. She helped the crown prince to support the woman. Wu Yuandong quickly returned to the driver's seat. As someone from the military, he knew the importance of time. Su Yun didn't even have time to speak to Ling Jiling. The two of them supported Cho Yun into the car. After closing the door, he directly ordered Ling Jiling, "Go and make the bed. She needs a good rest now." Ling Jiling felt disappointed again. She really hoped that the crown prince's first sentence would be to ask about her and show concern for her. However, in the end, Su Yun still spoke about that woman. She needed to rest? Didn't she need to rest too? After all, it was tiring for her to deal with Green Ghost for such a long time. However, no matter how disappointed Ling Jiling felt, she would still follow Su Yun's orders. This was what she should do. At this moment, she couldn't treat herself as Su Yun's friend anymore. She had to completely treat Su Yun as her boss. Otherwise, she was really afraid that she wouldn't be able to hold on and cry. "Brother Dong, was there anyone following you when you came out?" After Su Yun handed Cho Yun to Ling Jiling to help her to the bed in the RV, he immediately went to the partition between the car and the driver's seat and asked. Wu Yuandong shook his head with certainty. "No, I've been paying attention to the situation behind us. Brother Su Yun, are we leaving Swang immediately?" "No." Su Yun's words were resolute and decisive. "We can't leave yet. But this place is no longer safe. I saw that person today. I've heard of Green Ghost's strength and reputation. You should know better than me what kind of person he is. If you offend that kind of person, he won't let you off even if he digs 3 feet into the ground." Wu Yuandong said. "If there's still a barrier between you and him that you can't get over, then we'll go back first. Chief Zhuo will help you think of a way. I'm afraid you won't be his match in a one-on-one fight." Su Yun smiled. "Brother Dong, don't worry. Green Ghost definitely wants to dig 3 feet into the ground to find me, but I'm afraid there aren't many people who can help him. Now let's go to a family who can help him dig 3 feet into the ground. I want to see how Green Ghost can find me. Let's go to Fugui Garden District." "Brother Dong, let's go." Wu Yuandong's body froze. He stared at Su Yun with wide eyes. "You're not going to that. The house of the person who brought Green Ghost to the waltz today, are you? That's too dangerous." "That's right, it's Wang Ruping's house. The most dangerous place is the safest place." Su Yun nodded. "Luring Green Ghost out, he helped me set up a trap. He and I are in the same boat. He'll definitely do his best to get rid of all this. But if he gets rid of it now, he can block us on the highway out of Swang with just one sentence. We'll be in even more trouble then. It's better to win in danger." Right now, the person playing chess with Green Ghost was Su Yun. Therefore, Wu Yuandong had to follow his orders no matter which move he made. Since things had come to this, they probably didn't dare to get on the highway. Even if they wanted to leave Swang, they had to take the national highway below. Otherwise, they might be blocked on the highway like Su Yun said. Forget it. Since he said he wanted to go to Fugui Garden, then let's go. After Wu Yuandong started the car, Su Yun finally arrived in front of Ling Jiling. Ling Jiling was taking care of the unconscious Cho Yun. Su Yun suddenly hugged Ling Jiling's shoulder from behind and pulled her into his chest. "Sister Jiling, thank you, really thank you. I'm so happy to see that you're fine. I was really worried that you would be hurt by Green Ghost. I know what I did was really bad, but I really didn't have any other choice. Cho Yun was caught by Green Ghost. I had to save her. If I couldn't save her, I wouldn't have the face to return to Hudong City." Su Yun hugged Ling Jiling. He thanked her from the bottom of his heart. He didn't have any other thoughts. Su Yun didn't dare to imagine the consequences of not being able to save Cho Yun. How would he face Guogua then? How would he face Ruan Qingshuang? He might as well just bang his head against the wall and die. Although Guogua had her mother Ruan Qingshuang and him as her father, the person closest to her was still her sister Cho Yun. After all, Cho Yun was the person who had taken care of her since she was young. "Crown Prince, this is what I should do. You don't have to take it to heart. As long as it's something you want me to do, I'll do my best." Ling Jiling didn't resist and let Su Yun hug her. This was probably the first time she accepted a man's hug outside of filming, because she felt that this hug didn't have any other thoughts. It was sincere and pure. Soo-yeon breathed softly. After a while he released his arms. Sister Jiling, I'm sorry. I was really tired just now. Hugging you felt very relaxed. So, I hope you don't mind. Of course I don't mind. Ling Jiling's resentment was swept away by Soo-yeon's hug. She pointed at the half-unconscious Cho-yeon on the bed and asked, "The Cho-yeon you mentioned, is that her name?" "Yes, that's her." Soo-yeon nodded. Ling Jiling probed a few times before finally asking, "Then who is she to you?" "She is." Soo-yeon mulled it over. If they were friends, there were clearly other feelings between them. If they were girlfriends, it wouldn't be right. Cho-yeon had the personality of a nun. How should he put it? In the end, Soo-yeon found a more suitable answer. "I should say she's my family. She's my daughter's older sister." Ling Jiling's mind was in a mess. What kind of nonsense was this? Your daughter's older sister? Didn't that mean she was your daughter? Even if she was a relative, she was still your niece. Did he have to think for so long before answering? Wait a minute. Suddenly, Ling Jiling's mind filtered out the word daughter. She looked at Soo-yeon with wide eyes. Completely at a loss, she said in a trembling voice, Crown Prince, you said you have a daughter?" Yes. I have a goddaughter." "Haha, I didn't tell you." Soo-yeon smiled. He hadn't seen Guogwa for a long time. He really missed her. Phew. Ling Jiling's heart felt like it was on a roller coaster. Although there was only one word difference between daughter and goddaughter, the effect was absolutely different. Just now, Ling Jiling was almost stunned. She didn't dare to imagine that Soo-yeon had a daughter at this age. Moreover, this daughter was old enough to be sisters with Cho-yeon, a girl in her 20s. Something wasn't right. Ling Jiling fell into a daze when she thought of this age. The woman lying on the bed named Cho-yeon was at least in her 20s. Could it be that the crown prince had a goddaughter at such a young age? Chapter 285. My goddaughter is only 6 or 7 years old. Don't overthink it. Soo-yeon saw that Ling Jiling was stunned and hurriedly explained. After all, Ling Jiling was in the entertainment industry. It wasn't strange for the female stars in the industry to have a few godfathers or godfathers. However, the relationship between those people and his relationship with Guogwa was as different as heaven and earth. Although Soo-yeon wasn't a gentleman, he definitely wasn't a dirty person. Ling Jiling smiled awkwardly. She knew what Soo-yeon meant, and she really did overthink it. The entertainment industry was indeed a big vat. How many people could emerge from the mud without being tainted? How many female stars relied on their godfathers to get to where they were? Ling Jiling still remembered people saying that she had a chance to make a name for herself, because she had Zhang Taisui as her godfather. However, that wasn't the case. Zhang Taisui never had a goddaughter, nor did he have any thoughts about any of the female stars in Sky Entertainment. This was why Ling Jiling continued to sign with Sky Entertainment. If there's a chance, I'll take you to meet her. She's so young but so mischievous. When she grows up, she'll definitely be a monster. Soo-yeon couldn't help but smile when he thought of Guogwa. He really underestimated Guogwa. She didn't need to grow up. Guogwa was already a monster. Okay, if there's a chance, I'll definitely meet her. Ling Jiling nodded. Prince, what's wrong with Miss Cho? Her body is so weak and her head is a bit hot. I'm worried that she'll have a high fever. If she doesn't get an injection, she won't be able to control it. Soo-yeon's smile turned into a trace of worry. Yeah, I just gave her an injection. Because time doesn't allow us to put her on a drip. We can only do something simple. I'll help her in a bit. Cho-yeon had become like this because she was holding on. When they broke out of the encirclement, Cho-yeon's body was already at its limit. After all, she had been locked in this dark basement by Green Ghost for 4 days. Moreover, she hadn't had a drop of water during these 4 days, let alone eat. More importantly, not only could Cho-yeon not allow herself to fall asleep, she also had to control herself to conserve energy, which was a very difficult thing to do. Therefore, when she was rescued by Soo-yeon in the beginning, She still had the strength to help Su-yun deal with the enemies attacking from behind. However, when everyone fell under Su-yun's hands, Cho-yun finally couldn't hold on any longer. The moment she knew that they could safely leave this place, the tiredness and exhaustion that she had accumulated for a long time completely erupted. She fainted on the ground in an instant. After all, it had been 4 days and 4 nights of suffering. To be able to hold on until now, even if Cho-yun had extraordinary strength, it was already beyond her limit. Su-yun immediately brought Cho-yun to the hospital for a fast-acting fever reduction injection. Although the doctor strongly advised them to stay in the hospital for treatment, Su-yun really couldn't let Cho-yun stay in the hospital. After all, the hospital was a public place, and there were unsafe factors in public places. If Green Ghost found this place, wouldn't Su-yun's previous efforts be in vain? His stamina was basically exhausted, and Cho-yun was half unconscious. Right now, they didn't have the ability to fight against Green Ghost at all. Therefore, they could only find a place to recuperate. The only place that Su-yun felt safe was Wang Rupieng's house, because Wang Rupieng was the last person in contact with Green Ghost. Right now, Green Ghost no longer had any subordinates to order around, and no subordinates to help him search for their whereabouts in Swang. He would definitely let Wang Rupieng do this. After all, Wang Rupieng wasn't a fool. He definitely knew that Su-yun was using him. He could completely help Green Ghost catch Su-yun. Su-yun had already made Green Ghost suffer so much. Green Ghost definitely wouldn't believe him no matter what he said. Wang Rupieng could easily wash away his relationship with Su-yun. Therefore, if Su-yun wanted Wang Rupieng to obediently submit, he had to have a relationship with Wang Rupieng. He simply let Wang Rupieng shelter them in his house. This way, Wang Rupieng would be equivalent to yellow mud falling into his pants. Even if it wasn't sh*t, it was sh*t. As long as he couldn't free himself, Su-yun and the others could safely stay in Swang to recuperate. Once his body recovered, Su-yun would have the ability to fight Green Ghost head-on. Therefore, it was very important to choose a hiding place now. Even if it was only for a day or a night, he had to find an extremely safe place. And this safe place was Wang Rupieng's house. Soon Wu Yuandong drove to Fugui Garden. He drove the car to the back of Wang Rupieng's house according to Su-yun's instructions. Su-yun climbed into the house, opened the door, and then let everyone in as if they were returning to their own home. Green Ghost drove the sports car crazily to the Waltz Hotel. The more he thought about it, the more depressed he felt. He slammed on the accelerator and smashed the car through the revolving door in the middle of the hotel. He drove directly to the elevator door. This scene scared the surrounding people. Whether it was the hotel staff or the customers, they all looked for a place to hide and leave. Green Ghost opened the door and got out of the car. He walked into the elevator angrily and sat in the restaurant on the top floor. However, he couldn't see Ling Zhiling's figure anymore. He was so angry that he smashed the entire restaurant before leaving. No one dared to provoke him. The hotel manager could only secretly call the police. This could be called a terrorist attack. Green Ghost, who couldn't find her, went to the front desk to ask, but the receptionist had already run away in fear. Just as Green Ghost was preparing to search room by room, Tang Huabin had already arrived with the police. After receiving the call, someone notified Tang Huabin. Knowing that Green Ghost was causing trouble, Tang Huabin naturally had to come out to solve it himself. This was no joke. If it wasn't solved properly, it would cause a lot of trouble. Seeing Tang Huabin come, Green Ghost grabbed his collar and said, "Tell them to find out which room Ling Zhiling is staying in right now." Tang Huabin didn't know that something big had happened in Green Ghost's house. He thought that it was because he and Wang Rupieng couldn't bring Ling Zhiling home, so he came here to make trouble. Tang Huabin knew Ling Zhiling's room. He couldn't bear the pressure Green Ghost exerted on him at all. He immediately told Green Ghost the room number. However, the hotel manager also found out that the guest in this room had already checked out. His family was in a mess, and he couldn't find the culprit. Green Ghost couldn't hold back his anger anymore. He grabbed Tang Huabin's shoulder, gritted his teeth and said, "I'll only give you 1 day. If you can't find Ling Zhiling and the people with her, I'll kill you. Block all the roads out of Swang right now. Do you hear me?" Tang Huabin didn't dare to resist Green Ghost. He could only do as he was told. He immediately mobilized his connections to block the roads. It seemed that he wouldn't have a chance to sleep tonight. If he couldn't catch this person, Green Ghost would definitely go crazy. Green Ghost asked Tang Huabin to block the roads and catch the person while calling Wang Ruping. Wang Ruping, who had just arrived home in the front passenger seat door kicked off by Green Ghost, received a number that made his hands tremble. Sure enough, Green Ghost called to ask him to find Ling Jiling and the people with Ling Jiling. After Wang Ruping hung up the phone, he sighed helplessly. He really needed to think about it. Now he really wanted to take revenge on Su Yun. If he handed Su Yun over to Green Ghost at this time, Green Ghost wouldn't listen to his nonsense and would definitely kill him. At that time, there would be no evidence of what Wang Ruping had done. But finding Su Yun was really not an easy task. Wang Ruping really hoped that Tang Huabin, who was blocking the road and arresting people, would be able to settle this matter. In that case, he would really be able to sit back and relax. Wang Ruping thought about what to do next as he took out the key to open the door. He didn't expect that the moment he opened the door, a black shadow would stand in front of him and say, "Hi." This greeting was like a bolt from the blue. Wang Ruping stared at Su Yun with wide eyes. A second ago, he was still thinking about where Su Yun and Ling Jiling would be hiding. In the next second, Su Yun gave him such a big surprise. But this surprise was too big, so big that he couldn't accept it. At this time, as long as he secretly informed Green Ghost, it would be a huge contribution. In the future, when Green Ghost called him brother, he could still show off in Su Hang City and continue to be the director of the 5 poisons. No one would dare to touch him again. But all of this was a beautiful fantasy. Wang Ruping didn't need Su Yun to remind him. If Green Ghost saw that Su Yun and the others were hiding in his house, he would definitely conclude that Su Yun was sent to the lakeside villa area by him. At that time he would end up like Su Yun dead. "Why are you here?" Wang Ruping stared at Su Yun with wide eyes. His trembling fingers wanted to lift up several times, but they didn't move. He never thought that Su Yun would be so ruthless and so smart. He was determined to eat him. Su Yun smiled. "Director Wang, if I didn't come here, where do you think I should go?" "Hee, I believe that with Director Wang's brain, you can help Green Ghost find me wherever I go." "I thought about it. Since that's the case, why don't I come to your house directly? In this way, if Green Ghost asks you for people, you don't have to worry. Just let Green Ghost come." Wang Ruping's heart was fiercely grasped by Su Yun's words. He knew very well that Su Yun knew that he wouldn't do this. Su Yun wanted to make him feel uncomfortable. He could only hide here so that he wouldn't attract Green Ghost. "You're treating me like an outsider. How could I help Green Ghost find you?" Wang Ruping squeezed out a smile. No, don't worry. As long as you're here, I promise I won't let Green Ghost find you." "Haha, it's my honor to have you here. My honor to have you here." Chapter 286. Wang Ruping went from an educated youth in the countryside to the director of the village committee, and then to the county party secretary. Step by step, he climbed to the top position in the judicial department of Suang City in Jiangnan province. He had dealt with many people from all walks of life. In the words that Wang Ruping taught his disappointing son, Wei Yechen, "I've eaten more salt than you've eaten rice. I've walked more bridges than you've walked on roads, and I've stepped on more people than you've seen." However, Wang Ruping, who had never lost to anyone and had been focused on studying the thick black theory to achieve hegemony, actually admitted that he had lost to the young man in front of him. Every step of his plan couldn't compare to Su Yun's. If the two of them were to be compared to a game of chess, then Su Yun's move was equivalent to forcing him to a dead end. If he followed Su Yun's instructions, then he would still have a chance to struggle at death's door. If he didn't follow Su Yun's instructions, then any move he made would mean that he lost the entire game. Although Wang Ruping knew that he had lost, it wasn't to the point of losing his life. He hadn't lost to the point of losing everything. He really had no way to deal with the 4 people who had broken into his house. Not only could he not chase them out, but he also had to pour tea for them. He had really regressed decades to this point. Only when he was an educated youth in the countryside did he pour water for the village chief, and the others so respectfully. Now he had long forgotten what it was like to pour tea for others. Su Yin smiled at Wang Ruping. Green Ghost must have ordered you to catch us, right? Other than you, who else is looking for me? You should know very well. Chatting with me is good for both of us. Wang Ruping nodded and admitted. Green Ghost wants me to help him catch you. Now, Tang Huabin has used the excuse of a raid on drunk driving in the city to mobilize all the police forces in Suang to block all the traffic in and out of Suang. If you want to escape, it's absolutely impossible. Miss Ling is a public figure, and all the police know her. Once they find her car, it will be completely detained. You're right to choose to stay. Su Yin smiled faintly. Looks like I wasn't wrong. Tang Huabin must also want me to die in the hands of Green Ghost. You just said that the car Ling Jiling is in will be detained. If Ling Jiling and I stay and the others leave, there won't be any problems, right? Wang Ruping was stunned for a moment. I think there shouldn't be a problem. Green Ghost's current clue to arrest people is Miss Ling. If it's anyone else, not all police officers will know them. I'm afraid that even if you want to leave, no one will find out, as long as Miss Ling doesn't show up. Of course, don't think about hiding people in the trunk. I can guarantee that the investigation this time will be very strict. Tang Huabin is very afraid of Green Ghost. Since Green Ghost had given the order, he would definitely obey it. Even if he had to die, he had to capture that person. There's basically no hope of hiding them and bringing them out. Thank you for reminding me so kindly. I didn't come here in vain. Su Yin took a sip of the hot tea made by Wang Ruping. Director Wang, even if you didn't remind me, I wouldn't be so stupid to take such a big risk. I won't leave, and I won't let Sister Jiling leave. With that, Su Yin looked at Chou Yun and Wu Yuandong and continued. I only want my driver to send me out. I'll think of a way for the rest. There's definitely no danger, right? Wang Ruping stared at Su Yin with wide eyes. This guy really had a lot of ideas. After knowing that Green Ghost's target was Ling Jiling, he left Ling Jiling alone and let the others go first. This was indeed a good idea. At least after the others left, they could call for reinforcements. I'm not leaving. Chou Yun, who had just recovered, heard Su Yun's words and refused immediately. I definitely won't let you stay alone. Wu Yuandong had already recognized Chou Yun's identity. She was the violent fox venerable by Feng Qiansui's side. Her strength was on par with his. If even a woman refused to run for her life, then he had no reason to leave. Brother Su Yin, I can't leave you and Miss Ling here. Boss Sua asked me to send you here because he trusts me. If I leave you here and go back alone, I won't have the face to see Boss Sua, and I won't be able to explain it. After being rejected by the two, Su Yun's face began to turn gloomy. He looked up at Chou Yun and suddenly scolded angrily. Look at the situation now. What can you do for me if you stay here? Green Ghost's target is no longer you. You have to go. You have to. Do you understand? Su Yun, who was suddenly furious, couldn't care less. He glared at Wu Yuandong again. Do what I tell you to do. Do you really think that you're my brother just because I called you Brother Dong a few times? Take her away. Leave. I'm not negotiating with you. This is an order. Seeing Su Yun lose control of his emotions, Ling Jiling hurriedly patted Su Yun's back and chest. While helping him calm down, she said, Why are you so angry? It's not that they don't want to listen to you. They're just worried about you. Prince, don't be like this. It's not good for anyone. Calm down, calm down. I'll help you persuade them to leave, okay? Scram. Tell them to scram right now. Su Yin had no choice but to do this. He angered Green Ghost, and the consequences were serious. If there was a chance to leave, then they had to leave. Ling Jiling definitely couldn't leave. He also hoped that the people who could leave would leave first. He would think of a way to deal with the rest. But he didn't expect Chou Yun and Wu Yuandong to be so uncooperative. They didn't understand his good intentions at all. How could he not be anxious? No matter how good a person's temper was, there would be times when he was impatient. Su Yin wasn't angry because of them. It was because Green Ghost had gone too far. Wang Ruping sat on the side without a word. He didn't dare to speak at this time. If he did, it would be adding fuel to the fire. The more angry Su Yun was, the less confidence he had in Green Ghost. He could see this clearly. Su Yun, why are you telling me to scram? Cho Yun didn't back down. You should be the one to scram. It's your fault. Why did you decide to save me? Why did you decide to transfer Green Ghost's threat to me to someone else? If you didn't do this, Miss Ling wouldn't have gotten into trouble. She could have left safely at any time. Now that you've done this, I can leave safely, but Miss Ling is in danger. You want me to leave now? Su Yun, I won't lose my principles just to live. You should know me. I won't leave. How could Su Yun not know Cho Yun? It was because he knew that Cho Yun wouldn't leave even if she was beaten to death. After calming down, Su Yun only said 3 words faintly, sorry. Cho Yun was very depressed. I should be the one saying sorry. I didn't listen to you. I really shouldn't have come, but I really can't help it. I'm scared, I'm worried. I can't sleep if I don't know what Green Ghost is doing. I'm really scared. I'm worried about Guagua and you. I'm really scared that I'll drag everyone down. Don't say any more. I know. Su Yun couldn't bear to hurt Cho Yun again. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Rest well today. I was too impulsive just now. After that, Su Yun looked at Wu Yuandong again. Brother Dong, I'm really sorry just now. I didn't mean to say that. I really don't know what to do. I'm sorry. Wu Yuandong shook his head and grinned. Don't treat me like an outsider. Let's go to the yard and have a smoke. Okay. Su Yun stood up and walked out after saying that. Wang Ruping was quite embarrassed. Fortunately, there were enough rooms at home. He immediately went to arrange rooms for Ling Jiling and Cho Yun. Although Ling Jiling was jealous of Cho Yun before, Cho Yun's words just now made her feel enlightened. She really didn't expect that a girl could be as generous as Cho Yun. At the very least, there wasn't a girl with such a character in the entertainment industry. She really wanted to be friends with Cho Yun. The 2 girls followed Wang Ruping to the bedroom upstairs to rest. Wu Yuandong took the cigarettes and lighter and went directly to the yard. At this moment, Su Yun was looking up at the sky with a frown. There will be a way when the car comes to the mountain. Everything will be fine when the boat comes to the bridge. Wu Yuandong smiled and handed Su Yun a cigarette. Isn't it already a miracle that you can successfully rescue people from under Green Ghost's nose today? Before saving people, you must be thinking that as long as they can be rescued, it doesn't matter, right? So as long as they can be rescued, everything will be fine. Even if we have to sleep on the streets to hide, it doesn't matter. Besides, we have a safe hiding place now. Also, Miss Ling and Miss Cho didn't say anything. Brother, don't think too much. Su Yun took the cigarette Wu Yuandong handed to him, lit it, and took a deep breath. Brother Dong, you're right. I know. But I just feel a little uncomfortable in my heart. I'm really sorry to have implicated all of you. Really. Especially towards Sister Ji Ling. I feel even more apologetic. It seems like you know that Miss Ling likes you. That's why you feel bad. Wu Yuandong smiled and said, Brother, I know that you don't want to owe a woman a favor, and you don't want to owe a woman who likes you a favor. You can't accept owing a woman who you don't give her love for, but she still loves you. Am I right? Su Yun's expression froze for a few seconds, then turned into a bitter smile. Brother Su Yun, maybe it's not like there's no chance. Wu Yuandong knew that Su Yun didn't want to continue this topic, so he changed the topic. You can kill your way in and out of Green Ghost's nest. I believe that even if your strength isn't as good as Green Ghost's, it's just a hair's breadth away. If you have my and Fox Noble's help, you don't have to hide. Su Yun looked at Wu Yuandong indifferently. Brother Dong, you really have been in the underground world. If he hadn't been in the underground world, how could he know the title of Violent Fox Noble? Wu Yuandong didn't deny or admit it. He just smiled. Sky Entertainment Group is also involved with the underground forces. Of course I've been in the underground world. Su Yun didn't ask any more questions. Brother Dong, I thank you for what you said just now. Thank you on behalf of Cho Yun. Chapter 287. When Su Yun and Wu Yuandong returned to the room, the two girls had already rested in their respective bedrooms. Wang Ruping had also prepared beds for them so that they could sleep at any time. Wu Yuandong glanced at Wang Ruping and said lightly, "I'll be in the same room as you." Wang Ruping's face changed. Looking at the 1.8-meter tall man standing next to him, his heart trembled. I'm not used to sharing a room with others. Don't worry, I won't inform Green Ghost. This is my home. I'm in the same boat as you. If the boat capsizes, I'll drown too. I'm not worried that you'll secretly inform Green Ghost. I just want to be in the same room as you. Wu Yuandong ignored Wang Ruping's rejection. It's settled then. Which room are you in? Wang Ruping only felt his chrysanthemum tighten. He pointed at his room. Could it be that this guy was a pervert who liked to do gay things? Just thinking about it made Wang Ruping feel uncomfortable. He really didn't know how he would survive the night. Brother Dong, with you watching him, I'm much more relieved. Su Yin smiled. Even if Wu Yuandong didn't make this request, he would still sleep in the same room as Wang Ruping. Although Wang Ruping wouldn't inform Green Ghost, who knew if he would do something that would threaten their safety at night. This was hard to say. After all, Wang Ruping really wanted them to die. Only then could he completely bury the fact that he helped Su Yun sneak into Green Ghost's room. So he was very likely to do something to Su Yun. You really should rest well. Wu Yuandong smiled. He could see that Su Yun's physical strength was now overdrawn. Although Su Yun's opponent at night was only Jin Xiao, who was an expert who could contend with him, Su Yun had to try his best to kill every opponent in a single blow. This caused him to consume a lot of physical strength. This was also why Cho Yun persisted until she fainted in the end. Both of them could be said to have overdrawn their physical strength. Cho Yun's overdraft was even more serious. After returning to the room, Su Yun took off his shirt and fell directly on the bed. The feeling of soreness and weakness made him not want to move again. He was very clear about his current situation. It wasn't because he hadn't been active for a long time, but because the contraction of human muscles required energy, and energy was provided by the breakdown of muscle glycogen in the muscle tissue. When the supply of oxygen was sufficient, the muscle glycogen could be directly broken down into carbon dioxide and water through pyruvic acid to release energy. However, what Su Yun did in the Lakeside Villa district was considered an overload of intense exercise. Every punch and kick of his was delivered with all his strength, which led to the accelerated decomposition of the muscle glycogen in his body, and the increase in oxygen consumption. Right now, all of Su Yun's muscles had entered a state of relative lack of oxygen. At this time, muscle glycogen had been converted into lactic acid through pyruvate and stored within Su Yun's muscles. Right now, the lactic acid had accumulated in Su Yun's muscles in large amounts. Therefore, it stimulated the chemical receptors in the muscles to produce excitement. This excitement transmitted to the cerebral cortex, causing Su Yun to feel this aching and powerless feeling. Moreover, due to the accumulation of lactic acid and other substances, the osmotic pressure in Su Yun's muscles increased, causing the muscle tissue to absorb more water and causing the swelling of his shoulders. Most importantly, during the battle at night, because Su Yun was worried about Cho Yun, his muscle fibers didn't relax enough, resulting in some slight spasms. Now the blood vessels in his muscles were compressed, and the blood flow was blocked. His muscles were in a state of hypoxia and ischemia. In this state, no one would feel good unless there was a professional masseuse who could give him a full-body massage to expel all the lactic acid in his body through his pores. Only then could he have a good night's sleep. At this moment, Ling Jiling suddenly pushed the door open and walked in. Su Yun relaxed and didn't even have the strength to pull the blanket over his upper body. Fortunately, he didn't take off his pants, so it didn't matter if a man exposed his back. Sister Jiling, you're not asleep yet? Su Yun was too lazy to move, so he just lay there. Ling Jiling nodded, walked to Su Yun's bedside and sat down. Is your body very sore? Do you want me to help you? I knew a little about massage when I was young, because I could earn 5 yuan every time I massaged my parents, so I can say that I'm quite professional. Really? At this time, if Su Yun was still polite, then he would be a fool. If Ling Jiling really knew how to massage, then she must know that removing lactic acid after muscle massage could relieve the soreness. Of course it's true. Ling Jiling smiled and said, I've already helped Cho Yun massage just now. She's already relaxed and sleeping. I didn't expect a girl's body to be so stiff. I guessed that you wouldn't be much better than her, so I came to see you. Su Yun was too lazy to raise his arm. He turned his head and used his mouth to point in the direction of his shoulder. Sister Jiling, I'm really not going to be polite with you. I can't even raise my arm. Hee, I'll have to trouble you. Since Ling Jiling came, she was already prepared to give Su Yun a full-body massage, so she didn't restrain herself and directly started. Ling Jiling started from the Dazui acupoint on Su Yun's neck and massaged to the Jianjing acupoint on both sides. Then she drew an arc all the way down to the Fengmen acupoint on both sides, then to the lung shu, spleen shu, kidney shu, waist shu. She went back and forth 6 times. The technique was definitely comparable to a professional blind massage. Su Yun could enjoy the feeling of the slender fingers moving around his back, and also enjoy the technique of a professional masseuse. It was simply awesome. This was 100 times better than the so-called 10 fingers playing the piano massage of the female masseuse in the bath center. Ling Jiling seriously helped Su Yun massage every inch of his stiff and swollen muscles. She felt her heart ache just thinking about it. How much lactic acid had accumulated in his muscles to be in such a state? She couldn't imagine how much willpower Su Yun had to have to endure this kind of physical pain. When she was filming, she had the feeling of lactic acid pressurizing her muscles. She had to let the masseuse massage 3 to 5 times a day to feel more comfortable. Su Yun's current situation was obviously 10 times, 20 times, or even 50 times more serious than her at that time. Ling Jiling was really amazed at how the crown prince could endure it. This kind of willpower was really terrifying. The two of them didn't speak. Su Yun quietly lay on the bed and enjoyed Ling Jiling's serious massage. After more than an hour, Su Yun finally felt his shoulders were more relaxed. At this time, Ling Jiling's fingers began to tremble slightly. For more than an hour, she didn't rest for even a minute. She had been continuously massaging Su Yun's muscles that had accumulated lactic acid. Su Yun twisted his neck and turned over to sit up on the bed. The relaxed feeling made him feel as if he had been reborn. Sister Jiling, not bad. I didn't expect you to have such a skill, Su Yun said with admiration. However, his smile quickly disappeared because Su Yun saw Ling Jiling's trembling fingers from the corner of his eyes. Ling Jiling calmly put her hands behind her back and said in the tone of a kindergarten aunt teaching a child, Crown Prince, you're not allowed to squander your strength like this in the future, okay? Now that you're comfortable, go to sleep. Good night. Just as Ling Jiling was about to turn and leave, Su Yun grabbed her arm and pulled her in front of him. Looking at her trembling fingers, Su Yun's mind was quickly filled with guilt. Sister Jiling, I'm sorry. What are you saying, Crown Prince? Do you still need to be so polite with me? Hee, I'm your sister Jiling. It's my duty to help you. Ling Jiling was a little embarrassed by Su Yun's actions. Su Yun placed Ling Jiling's hand over his heart. Sister Jiling, I owe you too much. You risked your life to help me. I'll never be able to repay this favor. From now on, you're Su Yun's sister. If anyone dares to bully you, I'll be the first to punish them. I'll do what I said today. Sister Jiling, from now on, I'm your little brother, not some crown prince. Ling Jiling was stunned. She allowed Su Yun to place her hand on his chest and feel his heartbeat. She could only hear pure gratitude in Su Yun's heartbeat. Okay, good little brother. Go to sleep. I'm very tired. If you don't sleep, I'll go back to sleep too. Ling Jiling smiled at Su Yun. Then, she slowly withdrew her hand from Su Yun's chest. Good night. Su Yun's smile was clean and pure. Sister, good night. Ling Jiling looked at Su Yun. Her lips moved slightly, but she didn't say anything in the end. After Ling Jiling walked out of Su Yun's room, it was as if she had lost her soul. She stood in front of Su Yun's room for 10 minutes before coming back to her senses. Then she slowly walked back to her room. She didn't understand why she had to be his sister. She wanted to tell Su Yun that she didn't want to be his sister. She had unknowingly fallen in love with Su-yun. This feeling wasn't the same as when she first started. It was pure love. Even if Su-yun wasn't the crown prince of Sky Entertainment, even if he was just a hooligan on the streets, she would still like him. And it was the kind of love that couldn't be cured. But Su-yun's last words, "Sister, good night." It was like a black whirlpool had completely pulled Ling Jiling into it. She didn't know what she should do. Should she refuse to be his sister, or should she acquiesce? In the end, she chose to remain silent. Chapter 288. How could Su-yun not know that he had hurt Ling Jiling's heart? However, as a man, sometimes he had to do things cleanly. He didn't want Ling Jiling to fall in love with him. If that happened, Zhuo would definitely not let him go. Su-yun was very clear about this. Su-yun was very clear about what kind of woman Zhuo was. She could be like a cute little bird or a well-behaved kitten in front of Su-yun, but in front of others, she could instantly become an ice goddess. If Zhuo knew that Ling Jiling was unable to extricate herself from him, Su-yun could completely imagine what Zhuo would do. At that time, Ling Jiling's heart would be hurt even more. Su-yun did this with good intentions. He didn't want Sister Ling, who had helped him, to be hurt again and again because of him. Su-yun doing this was the best way, and also the way to hurt Ling Jiling the least. Thinking of this, Su-yun's expression was helpless. He had never thought that he would use hurt to repay a woman who had helped him. Moreover, this woman was the national idol and otaku goddess, Sister Ling Jiling. This was going to be the wrath of the heavens. He really felt that he should let Sister Ling Jiling's fans beat him up to feel better. After that, the night was silent. Su-yun used the breathing and expiration method that Wang Yi had taught him to adjust his state of mind as quickly as possible. Perhaps Su-yun really hadn't experienced such a bloody scene for a long time. The smell of blood seemed to have awakened the devil in his heart that had been suppressed after the outbreak. Su-yun wasn't sure whether this feeling of loosening his state of mind was caused by the devil in his heart or not, but he was indeed a little worried. After a period of adjustment, Su-yun gradually suppressed the feeling of loosening his state of mind. He could only comfort himself that perhaps it was just an illusion. After all, the devil in his heart had already erupted when he broke through the bottleneck of a super expert. He had already experienced that feeling of death once, so it shouldn't happen again, right? The next day when Su-yun woke up, he found that Cho-yun and Ling Jiling were not in the room. At that time, his head almost exploded. He had spent so much effort to rescue Cho-yun, but he did not expect that she would leave without saying goodbye again. In an instant, Su-yun could clearly feel the rage in his heart surging. He punched the wall fiercely. Hearing the noise, Wang Ruping walked out of the room. His eyes darted around as he asked cautiously, What's wrong?" Su-yun could not control his emotions anymore. He grabbed Wang Ruping's collar and pinned him to the wall. "Where is he? Who is it?" Wang Ruping was so scared that he was trembling. He didn't sleep last night, because he was afraid that his anus would explode. He didn't sleep until 5 o'clock in the morning when he couldn't take it anymore. Not long after he fell asleep, he was woken up by the sound of Su-yun punching the wall. How could he know what had happened? Hearing the noise, Wu Yuandong quickly came out of the room. When he saw the situation, he quickly stopped Su-yun. "Brother Su-yun, it's okay. The two of them went out to buy breakfast. Don't be nervous." As they were talking, Cho-yun and Ling Jiling walked in with a few sets of breakfast. When the two of them saw this scene, they were slightly startled. They thought that Wang Ruping had done something wrong again, and that Su-yun was teaching him a lesson. They did not think that Su-yun was angry because of the two of them. "Come and eat. We bought a lot of delicious food. Look, this is an orange egg pancake. This is a jade vegetable roll, mixed vegetables and lean meat porridge, Westlake pan-fried buns, tuna sandwiches, and this dongjiang brewed tofu is a specialty. I didn't expect the breakfast shop across the street to sell so many things." Ling Jiling introduced her achievements as she took out the food. Cho-yun looked at Su-yun's expression, and immediately knew that he must be angry. She said softly, "Sorry, we didn't think so much. We just went out to buy breakfast." Hearing Cho-yun's words, Ling Jiling was also stunned. She finally came back to her senses and finally understood why Su Yin was angry at Wang Ruping. But she really didn't think so much. She just hoped that she could buy more food so that Su Yin could have more choices when he woke up and eat something to replenish his strength. Su Yin tried his best to suppress the burning anger in his heart. He knew that they didn't do it on purpose. He also knew that he couldn't be angry at Ling Jiling and Chou Yun so casually. But even so, Su Yin couldn't hold it in anymore. He vented all his anger on Wang Ruping. He waved his right arm and threw Wang Ruping on the floor next to the sofa. You should be the one doing these things. Wang Ruping, you better understand. If Green Ghost knows that we are here, you will also die. Wang Ruping felt wronged. He also didn't want these two women to go out to buy food. If Green Ghost or other people found out that Ling Jiling was in his neighborhood, then he would definitely be blacklisted by Green Ghost. Ladies, please don't cause trouble for me. Wang Ruping got up from the ground helplessly. Although he was unwilling, he didn't dare to say no to Su Yin. Wu Yuandong went up to help. This is my fault. I should go. It's not suitable for any of you to go. If Wang Ruping went and bought food for so many people, Green Ghost or Tang Huabin's people would be suspicious. It's more suitable for me to go. I only met Green Ghost and Tang Huabin once. They probably won't remember me. It's my fault. Ling Jiling knew that she caused trouble. She lowered her head and said, I'm sorry. It's not your fault. It's all my fault. Su Yin bitterly smiled. If he woke up a few minutes earlier, then this dangerous situation wouldn't have happened. Wang Ruping saw that Su Yin had calmed down and said weakly, You weren't seen by anyone, right? If you were targeted, then it would be troublesome. No, really. Ling Jiling nodded confidently. We all wear hats and sunglasses when we go out. We won't be recognized so easily. Come and eat. It won't taste good if it gets cold. Yes, eat. Wang Ruping quickly went to the kitchen to get bowls and chopsticks. After they all sat down, Wang Ruping also wanted to sit down. However, Su Yin glared at him. You still have the face to eat? Wang Ruping's face turned red from the scolding. Before he even sat down, he could only awkwardly get up. He forced a smile and said awkwardly, Haha, you guys eat. Haha, take your time. I'm really not hungry. Haha, you guys eat. After saying this, Wang Ruping could feel his stomach rumbling with hunger. His stomach seemed to be shrinking together. This was a feeling that he had never experienced in his youth, where his chest was sticking to his back. He didn't eat dinner last night. How could he be in the mood? After all, it had been 17 or 18 hours since Wang Ruping last ate. Su Yin, you don't have to do this. Ling Jiling's heart was still soft. Although she didn't like Wang Ruping, seeing him trembling beside Su Yin, she still felt that he was quite pitiful. Chou Yun coldly looked at Wang Ruping. Sister Jiling, a pitiful person must have a hateful side. He doesn't deserve your pity at all. If you add up all the bad things this person has done, it's enough to be shot 100 times. If any woman knew about the shady business between him and Green Ghost, they wouldn't forgive him. This kind of person deserves to die. Ling Jiling's eyes widened in disbelief. Although she knew Wang Ruping wasn't a good person, she didn't expect him to be this bad. Even Chou Yun said so. It seemed that he deserved it. Those things were all forced by Green Ghost. It has nothing to do with me. I had no choice. You know what kind of person Green Ghost is. If I didn't do as he wanted, he would definitely take revenge on society. At that time, more people would be hurt. Wang Ruping tried his best to explain himself. Now that Su Yin was in a bad mood, he didn't want to be the reason for Su Yin to vent his anger on him. Chou Yun snorted and ignored his explanation. Then you can trample on the dignity of those girls as you wish? Do you know what kind of destruction and abuse those girls you sent to Green Ghost have suffered? Wang Ruping, you're not worthy of the police rank on your shoulder. If it wasn't because you're useful, I would definitely let you die without a burial place. Wang Ruping shivered and hurriedly said, I've already turned over a new leaf. If I hadn't thought of a way to lure Green Ghost out this time, you wouldn't have had a chance to be saved. Now that Green Ghost is about to be finished, I can't do those evil things anymore. I had no choice before. If I want to blame someone, I can only blame Green Ghost for being too overbearing. If I didn't send him girls, he would have killed people and caused trouble in Suong. Ling Jiling suddenly angrily smashed a bowl of vegetable and lean meat porridge on Wang Rupieng's face. Before Wang Rupieng could finish his sentence, he was scalded and howled, quickly running back. Bastard! Ling Jiling glared at Wang Rupieng fiercely. She despised men who didn't treat women as human beings the most. This kind of man deserved to die. At first, she thought that Wang Rupieng was nothing more than a despicable and corrupt official. She didn't expect him to collude with the people of the underground world, to do so many evil things. She despised men who bullied women the most. Seeing that Ling Jiling was so angry, Suyin didn't say anything else. He comforted Ling Jiling to calm down and eat something. He turned around and scolded Wang Rupieng to get lost. Wang Rupieng, who had been humiliated, didn't dare to be angry or say anything. He went to the bathroom to wash the sticky soup on his body. At this moment, he really had the thought of fighting to the death. He couldn't wait to call Green Ghost and tell him that these people were at his house. Even if he had to die, he would die with them. However, just as Wang Rupieng was about to do that, Wu Yuandong pushed open the bathroom door and walked in. He glanced at him and warned him. It's better to live than to die. Don't be impulsive. No matter how much they scold and beat you, at least you can keep your life. If Green Ghost knows, you won't just lose face, you will lose your life. Wu Yuandong's words made Wang Rupieng wake up. That's right, it's better to live than to die. As long as there's life, there's hope. At this time, Green Ghost called again. He took the phone and hummed for a while before hanging up. Wang Rupieng walked out of the bathroom and said to Suyin directly, Green Ghost is looking for me. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.